Hello and welcome to Chubby Boy Magic.
Deep, doop, doop.
Can you say it?
No.
On this week's episode,
Oh,
we have.
that was an awkward transition.
It's not as awkward you made it.
All right, on this week's episode, we have Caleb, aka Thiccc Azz Boy.
Thick ass boy.
Thick.
So thick. How many C's do you have in there now?
3.
So,
I didn't take any out because I'm afraid that if I make any modifications, my blue check is going to go away
All right.
that I still haven't paid for.
That's the best shit ever. I tried to do it, and they were like, nope. I was like, God damn it.
No, I even like went and checked my PayPal account and I was like, okay, no $14.96 or whatever it is in there. I asked my wife. I was like, hey, have you seen anything come out for like Meta or anything? She's like, no, I hadn't seen shit. Don't spend. Don't buy that.
Dude, it's highly worth it. I'm about to go do it when we're done here. It's got a whole list
lies.
of. I mean, I want to.
I can definitely tell you that people are more likely to comment back on my stupid ass shit I post.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
You know,
whenever
if
you
it
see Thiccc Azz
wasn't
Boy.
if it wasn't monthly, like if it was like $14 for the year, I'd be like done.
Yeah, but everybody would do it.
But yeah, well
That's
yeah.
how the poors do it.
I know.
But
But I'm like,
They
I
don't
want to
give
pay
a
that.
yearly discount.
I don't want to pay
Yeah.
that monthly.
I'm not LeBron James.
Yeah, this is true.
you're not over there shooting high 3-pointers, doing and ones and whatnot.
No.
Speaking of that, you don't get paid for this one, but we'll send it out to producers, and then you'll get a job and get paid in 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
You'll be famous, internet famous. On
Yeah.
a certain website.
Directors want to see that
Yeah.
you know how to take
So
directions.
Yeah.
There's definitely some road rash,
Yeah, there's some road rash every.
some identifying marks on my body now. Thanks,
Not
guys.
the tattoos or anything else. It's just all the other shit. you-
No, like my back and my ass is completely tore up.
Dude.
FYI, don't ride a Harley in Crocs.
Dude.
Safety.
I got one Croc
Safety.
on right now and my damn boot. and-
Yeah.
You got the Terminator boot on.
Yeah.
The boot scooting booties over here. Okay, well, before we get too far into this, because people are going to be like, who the fuck and why the fuck? Caleb, Thiccc Azz Boy. Who are you?
Yes, boy.
What's your origin story? Who are you? And
So new to the Oklahoma area since 2015. The oil field brought me to Oklahoma. Lived in Texas for a while before that.
That's how it goes.
Oilfield trash.
I am an East Coaster for
Yeah.
life. From North Carolina.
So are you Team Puffy then?
what the fuck is that?
He's East Coast.
Pete Diddler.
Oh,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Team
real-
Puff- I thought you were talking about
Are we
puffins
allowed-
or some
Are we allowed
shit.
to say that?
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever you want. We talked about this before. Actually, I didn't tell you what you couldn't say.
Actually, I'm like Team Biggie and Stitches.
Yeah.
You guys know who Stitches
Yeah,
is?
I do
from
know
Florida?
who Stitches
I do.
is.
I
He has
do.
a great song, Put Cocaine in Your Ass.
I mean,
Okay, all right.
that's don't threaten me with a good time.
I mean, I'm here for it to an extent.
He went famous with his song of I fucked Miley Cyrus in her ass or something.
I mean, that sounds like some good wholesome content. And I mean, Miley.
He's
Miley,
like a white trash Bubba Sparks from Florida.
Oh, okay.
that's
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
pushing
Yeah.
what Bubba Sparks is as a whole
No,
already.
Bubba Sparks is like
He's wholesome.
He was like my childhood hero, like
Dude.
grills and all.
Miss New
He
Booty.
made me buy a grill when I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yes, you were
So-
telling us about
Yeah,
that the other
yeah.
day. And I was like,
I have often told Priscilla that sorry, I didn't mean to use her government name. My wife.
My
that
wife, my wife.
I
Miss
want to
Mitty.
go to Old Paris and get a grill, and I almost did for the wedding because I was like, I'm gonna walk down the aisle like teeth just shining.
yeah,
you
it's
know,
kind of like
and
a
she
diamond
would-
in a goat's ass.
Oh yeah, and she was like, absolutely not. And
No,
I was like,
get it.
So there's this picture I got home from Iraq in 2008, and I thought I was hot shit because when I was over there on R&R, I went to Dubai,
All right.
and I bought a real diamond top and bottom grill set for like $500 American.
yeah,
Yeah.
damn,
And,
damn.
That was an investment on your future.
Yeah,
yeah, and
It's worth about
I bought-
$450 today.
so
that's worth a lot more than that. It's
I
a lot.
bought the top and bottom set, full like 3/4 piece grill, and then I bought 6mm or 6-carat diamond studs.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, I grew up like
You grew up with this
Yeah.
being what you would look like.
yeah,
He,
like,
Like I
so what
did.
he's saying, he grew up poor, and then he moved out the hood and got a government job,
Yeah.
and so then he had been deployed with nothing to spend your
right.
foolish money on.
Yeah. So
How long were you in for?
6 years.
6 years is a long
Yeah.
time to be in and not spend any money.
No, I spent money all the time. I lived
Yeah.
You were
government
good.
paycheck to government paycheck.
yeah.
Paycheck to government
No,
paycheck.
I'm just saying when he was deployed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. No,
You can't really do anything
Yeah,
over
when
there.
you're
All my hazardous duty pay, every
Yeah.
paycheck, like
Yeah.
what you couldn't spend in cash at the PX or the little
Yeah.
coffee shops there in Iraq, or anywhere,
Yeah.
you saved. You
Yep.
just didn't touch the money. I mean, because the internet wasn't online. Internet sales was not a thing.
Yeah, because you were in
And,
from when to when?
2004, 2003, 2004, to 2009.
Okay.
So
Yeah. That maths.
yeah.
Yeah. So you were when you got back home. You were, well, other than when you're in.
So like, I spent 2 years in Japan, and
we're gonna get there
okay.
because I had a lot of questions. Because when I went to Japan and came back, then you were like, "Oh yeah, what'd you do over there?" And I was like, "Oh, this and this. You should have done this." I was like, "Motherfucker, I was asking for suggestions."
Well, okay. So I've been in Oklahoma since 2015.
Yeah.
I'm a maintenance manager now at a unsaid company.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely love the job. Love
Yep.
the people I work with.
Got that dog in him.
My other thick ass boys.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean,
girls.
Yeah.
there's a pretty good scene at my work.
Yeah.
There's several people with bikes that work up there.
Yeah.
And
And then there's one dirtbag with a bike that does not work.
Yeah.
Or we're going to air quote work.
yeah,
he,
he shows up.
he shows up when he wants
I've got all the
to.
buttons.
He shows
Pedals
up
his
and
little
then
tricycle around
Yeah.
and just looks at everybody.
Another one of the real good homies now. We thought there was some drama, but me and him got on the same page, squashed anything that
Yeah.
No good.
was thought. So
Yeah.
he actually just sold his bike. Fucking legit dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene here, some people say is dying. Some people,
Yeah.
some people are growing it.
Right.
As long as I got the credentials to my Instagram account.
Yeah. You'll be growing it as much as you can be. Where's my password at, motherfucker?
Truth be told on that, I have not logged in once.
Yeah, I kind of
no,
figured.
no matter how much I
Ask for
bust
it.
that white gorilla motherfucker's ass. about password.
It's a lot, dude. I redid Instagram this morning and I lost one of them, and I was like, "That's fine. I just have the 2 now, not the 3." And I'm like, "That's
So,
totally fine."
So off subject, but I started a second page just to like provoke somebody,
Yeah,
and
we're getting all the dirty laundry out now. Hold on.
and that 6'7" fool, he jumped all over the bait and took it.
Yeah, he was like, "Motherfucker."
Yeah,
He was like,
I can't say anything.
yeah.
I can't say anything because he threw some bait out for me and I took it. And then he was like, that was me.
yeah.
And I was like,
I
oh.
did it solely to provoke Chris Hansen.
Right, right.
His whole ass government name right here.
It's cool. The 14 listeners will not worry about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Nate. How are you, buddy?
Hi, Chris.
Yeah.
To my 2 Blakes out there, Big Dick Blake and Big Balls Blake. Love y'all, homies.
I don't even. All right, never mind. I'm not even trying to deny.
Can I
You
ask you a
distinguish the
question?
2 between the both of them.
Does his dick look like a burrito?
I don't know. I've never seen
I've
it.
never seen it. Never.
Whatever.
I've seen Big Balls Blake's.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
oh yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so so when I first met you, we met at the pump for our first date.
Yeah.
No. So there was this Oklahoma Club Style page that kept following me on Instagram and doing shit, and then you guys were there. And so I originally just come out on my own, and then Spanky decided to come out. And
Yeah.
it was really cool because he had a Harley and I just had my Yamaha. But you were one of the first guys that was really nice and approachable when I started
So
talking to you guys.
I'm not the type of dude who is going to like be an asshole to somebody who's a newcomer. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's. Oh, okay. You did specify newcomer, so yeah,
like,
okay.
if like once I know you,
Yeah, yeah.
and we establish that rapport or whatever, that bond or friendship, I'm gonna talk shit all day long.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
like
yeah, 100%.
unfiltered, 100% cash
It's
money.
so much.
Yeah.
There's times where I have to go. These are my friends.
Yeah.
Like-
If I know you and I'm nice to you, that means I do not like you.
So it took so it took me probably 3 months. So we did meet at the pump. Speaking of that, like I wasn't a part of the original 5 or
Yeah,
4
or whatever it was.
So over the last 4.5 years, I was getting my bike built.
Very, very slowly, but
Well,
methodically.
no, so it was going to be a 26-inch wheel. Big,
Oh, you were going
big
with
wheel.
okay. I didn't know
Like-
you were gonna go with the big wheel for sure. I
So
thought
yeah,
it was
no, we cut the damn neck off. I had all the parts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like, it was
you
going
spent,
to be
I mean, over the course of,
over 4 years. I spent probably.
what, 40?
I mean, I spent a
45?
bunch of money.
You spent a
Uh,
lot.
What?
no, I spent a bunch of money.
And it showed. It was a good 4th place looking bike.
I can't wait to touch that.
I was waiting for this one.
So, yeah, it was gonna be a 26-inch, like big wheel Cholo
Yeah.
modern style.
So kind of like
bagger.
what Stevie's got. a little
So, do you guys know who Levi is?
bit.
He's got that like
That green?
Cholo 20. No, it's black Road King with like apes on it.
I'm sure I've
he
seen
used
it.
to come out all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
him
he's
and-
been to Edmund Bike Night before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
guy.
It's on center stand 26. I
Mhm.
mean,
It's beautiful.
Yeah. That bike is
El
beautiful.
Chapo, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
So mine was going to be like between Zach Still's old lay frame Road
Okay.
King with the beach bars,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and El Chapo was going to be the offset,
Okay.
the offspring
Of
of
Right.
that
two.
bike.
Yeah.
Except it was going to be white. Like,
yeah.
I mean, white's my color.
Right,
So-
right.
White,
White.
purple, and green.
Really, just white and green. But
Oh, really? The
Yeah.
purple's not so much.
no. It's just an accent color. And
Yeah, it is a really good accent.
I
color.
had a bunch of purple stuff, so it just went.
Yeah.
You're like,
Right.
I'm putting it
It
on.
was like I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one of my favorite things about you is like we started talking about some shit one time, and I thought you were, you get on around these groups and you're like, this is gonna be just a Harley person,
Right.
and that's their bread and butter in life. That's their hobby. And then we started talking about some shit, and I was like, oh my motherfucker, you're a nerd like me.
Yeah, dude. Like
Yeah.
I grew up on like Legos and Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
and Ghostbusters. Like
Yeah, dude.
I'll be 40 this year, so
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel it. But
Oh, yeah,
I
but-
grew up. That was my generation. I
Yeah.
grew up on, and
You're like, go Power Rangers.
well, like,
He man.
yeah,
yeah, like seriously, like that's the stuff I grew up on. So like going back to what I enjoy, purple just happened to be a very good pop accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the amount of different accessories that are in purple, because
shit.
it's like
Yeah.
blue, red, black, chrome, and then like purple,
yeah.
and everyone has everything. Well, now everyone has purple.
That's one of the things
So-
I've
Yeah,
started to
yeah.
notice is purple's been one of my main colors for a long time.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. Purple's played out,
yeah. I mean, it really is kind of played out, especially in seats.
especially on a black bike.
Black
it just,
bikes,
It
black
looks
street
street
light-
lights.
yeah,
street
black
lights
street
with
lights.
purple is
somebody's
lame.
dad's lowrider. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you put a porn CD, DVD
Love
on
you,
your air
Sean.
cover, it's just-
Hey now.
you
hey,
haven't done it
hey,
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna put mine at. I'm gonna have to like mold some shit inside of my Yamaha to feel. I've got hardcore Asian porno.
No.
So that's the one that's going on the bike.
Yeah. So collectively, over 4.5 years, I collected enough parts and traded and bought enough to build 2 bikes. And
What?
yeah, so
I didn't
enough.
know it was that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I traded a lot of the parts off from the big wheel
Mm-hmm.
to get the bike started.
Yeah.
And then work, help, whatever you want to call it. No disrespect to anybody. Like, the guy's doing his own thing now. Well, both of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like neither one of the 3 of us don't have relationships anymore. Not friends.
Yeah.
That's in the past. Like, we grow up, we realize who like true people are. Like, you guys were the core group of people that came and saw me in the hospital.
Yeah,
over
man. I was
20
Yeah.
there to see
Yeah.
you every day.
So I mean, that's who shows me like true people are.
Yeah.
My true friendships, and I respect that a lot. So, like, outside of all the drama, 4 years. We got the bike ready to go to Born Free last year,
Okay.
or 2 years ago, and it didn't come together. Like all things aside, it didn't come together.
Yeah, and these things happen
so,
when you're building
yeah.
something custom. Like,
Well, I
But-
mean, it
Yeah.
just we didn't put the focus and the attention on it that we did other things, and
correct.
mean,
yeah.
that's here nor there. But we moved past it, and so it sat for another 3 months, and then the other guy, he got it. He put over 100 hours into it, and we got it running. I took it back to my house. I finished it up. I put probably another, I'd say 50 plus hours into it to get it to where I could ride it. So,
Right.
That core group of 5 people who started Club Style Oklahoma, the one guy who brought me in was like, "Hey, this dude has a pretty dope bike. Like, we should bring him out."
You
So
did have a dope ass fucking bike.
So my
Yeah.
first thing was I went to Fort Thunder and did the show last year, and shout out to the guys from Southside Sleds and Tyler Lumen.
Yeah.
Fucking Lumen.
Yeah.
Fucking Lumen.
So I won best performance bagger and best custom bike at that show.
So you won first place at those.
I won first place for both of
Okay.
both
Wow.
categories.
Yeah.
So you went from a real high merit, and you come
So-
to ours.
Then you
Yeah.
you leave more, and you go up north.
So I rode
to
around. I rode around
Edmonds.
probably another 3 weeks before I came to.
Edmund Bike Night.
Yeah, because I went to 2 T-Bar Thursdays
yeah.
at the Pump. That's where I met you guys, and you guys invited me up there. So we go up to my first Edmund Bike Night, and
Oh God, man.
that was the first. At the time, that was the furthest ride I had on that bike.
Oh,
since
really?
it was
Wow.
completed, Yeah.
yeah.
So when I pull up, I mean, there was kinks and stuff that I had to work out of the bike, anyways.
I remember a little oil leak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a
So-
long-standing oil leak, which I was like, dude.
No, I put my signature on that sidewalk for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
there's
was hilarious.
There's probably a little puddle of Amsoil all over the flycatcher.
Oh yeah, for sure. There is. I saw it the other day. It's still there. It's about this big.
Yeah.
It's about that big right there.
It's probably about 6 quarts. I walk into Freedom and the guys are like, "What's going on? Oil leak?"
Dude, oil leak's your new road name. I don't give a fuck, dude.
So-
and I'm making your next bike have a fucking oil leak on it. I don't give a shit.
And so finally, kind of find out it was just the gasket in between the transmission and the inner primary.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yep.
Oh man, that sucks.
So
Wow.
because we thought it was drain plugs, that gasket, and I mean,
yeah,
Right,
I
right.
remember. Like,
Gorilla Glue, like
you know, there
There is nothing more frustrating than chasing down a leak and not being able to like, where is this coming from?
Y'all
then
at-
that's and it only came up when I was riding when the bike got super hot.
yeah, that's what
Because I didn't ride the bike like a casual Sunday rider. I rode the bike because of how I built it. And
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I
riding
mean,
style,
you
like-
were respectful to laws and regulations. And
No,
all
the
that stuff.
fuck I wasn't.
You were.
Yeah,
You
no,
were.
I was.
No, he was. but
Allegedly, he wasn't.
No, he was. No, it was funny because, you know, when I first met you, I didn't know as much about the Harleys and stuff, and I saw it and it had the really cool pineapple cut jugs, and the other Harley I'd ever seen that had
Yeah.
that was a real performance bike where it was like that thing was really, really fast from what everybody told me. Well, no, I'm not saying that yours wasn't.
No, it
but,
definitely
like,
wasn't.
but like everyone was like, that thing's fast as fuck. And coming from street racing back in the day,
Yeah.
it was like the show cars sometimes would scoot pretty fucking good. And then everyone's like, oh, it's an 88. And I don't know a lot about Harleys, but I was like, and I remember I had to turn around and go, I really like that guy. I don't want to laugh in his face because I don't know him that well. But I was like, it's an 88.
Yeah.
I was like, but it would move. I mean, it would
Yeah,
probably move
yeah.
with like a skinny ass boy on it a lot better. But.
Yeah, well, so I mean, it definitely moved out when it needed to.
Yeah.
It'd get out of its own way, but I mean, it wouldn't keep up with like pull out or and Skylar
Yeah.
cracking it open on 944. Like,
Yeah.
I'm full tilt, and those guys are walking away from me like I'm at a stoplight.
So, and I don't know if you guys ever run into this where you're on your bikes and you're cruising down like 40 or 44 and like you get a sport bike coming up next to you and
Yeah.
you're just like, that's fun. That's adorable. But
Yeah.
like you, bye-bye. Like,
Oh yeah.
I can run. I could run away from some of those guys because of the gain and stuff. It was only
Yeah.
5-speed carbureted,
yeah, that bike was so fucking cool.
and
Yeah.
I mean, everything was right on it. It
Yeah.
was all dialed in, and I mean, I absolutely love it. Yeah, it wasn't my 114 2018 Road Glide.
It was that's one of the prettiest bikes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The jugs, the pineapple cut on that, that was the first time I've ever really seen that up close.
Yeah.
So I've seen diamond cut where they go in and kind of
Right.
Just the
Yeah.
little notches in, but the yours was done like meticulous. That
And
looked so
the two guys
good.
that are doing it, they're fucking killing it in that scene right now. And
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to them for doing that, but I wanted to go bigger. Like I wanted to go faster.
No, absolutely.
Well,
Like
that's
once
one
you
of the-
get to that plateau of, fuck, my bike would only do 71 total miles an hour.
Yeah.
And-
On the
Yeah,
highway.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was, well, and I mean,
So-
that's one of those deals too, is it's like, coming from performance scene with cars, like you'd have stuff that was really cool looking
Yeah.
that would only do maybe like 75. I mean,
Right.
I've worked on some cars where it looked like it would fucking eat all day. That thing would just sit there and do,
Yeah.
it
So,
barely do 70.
I mean, everything from, I had a Joe Gibbs Silverado to my 88 Fox body.
Yeah, man.
My 03 Cobra, Terminator.
You've had some stuff that, yeah.
I had a Dodge Cummins with 1100 horsepower, like
God damn.
a Corvette killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the
Yeah.
old Cummins, like when it comes to that,
So-
because one of my buddies, when I built my black street wagon, he was like, I'd go out and race Corvettes in the Cummins all the time, and they would get surprised by it.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, then I would the next weekend take out the Volvo wagon
Oh, for
and
sure.
then go fucking pants these Corvettes because he was like, it's lighter and it moves faster. And he's like, so the Cummins and the Volvo, while they're not as fast as each other, it still pants all these guys in Reeboks. And he was like,
I used to like take the guys at lunch, and we get off of or pull out of work and get on I-40, and
yeah,
I would just let that Cummins eat, and we'd make it from El Reno to Yukon in less than
allegedly,
like
like 4 or 5 minutes.
we would be scooting, but I mean,
It's hard
I-
to push a
I
brick through the
can't-
air.
I can't leave anything alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everything I have to have is modified some way.
Yeah.
Like even your truck you're driving right now has a few key things done to it that I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I got something green on it. Everything I
Yeah.
have to have has to have something
Yeah.
green. It's just it's not a color, it's a way of life.
yeah.
Seriously, like
No, I get it. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are that way, especially
They
with-
don't realize that when you have something that means that much to you, how much it's gonna affect you.
right.
Like I didn't think squirrel was gonna ever be something that would be a part of my life as much as it is now, and like everyone's like, oh, here's a little squirrel figurine, or here's something that has a squirrel on it. I'm like,
Well, I didn't even know what your real name was for like the first 6 months.
that's how I wanted it. I legit when I first met all y'all, I was like, I don't know them as well as I think I know them, and
Yeah.
I am squirrel.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like
Yeah.
we thought mopping
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
all right,
know.
so
He
I
was
have to go here.
like, he was like, he's the other half of that
Okay.
gay couple.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly.
You're good,
all right,
just
all
keep
right.
up. Yeah, so tell that story.
So, you guys, I met you guys at the pump, invited me up to Edmond
to be
Bike Night.
fair, also at the pump.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
Yeah,
like,
it's a
I was
hipster
totally-
bar.
You guys
Yeah.
had your Peyton Dixons on. And
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
mine's a Hoffman
Okay.
design.
Yeah.
but yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna judge nobody on that. Screw it. Like,
Yeah.
your lifestyle is your lifestyle. So I was like, okay, these guys are cool. They rode in together, like
Me too.
tassels on their handlebars, and one guy rode on a Yamaha. So and you guys were chill, like you upbeat and giddy, has to say. And I was like, okay,
Some might say
so
a little bit gay.
like yeah. Some say it's gay's AIDS.
Oh my god! Hold on, think about
So, like, I even went home. I was like, I met these two gay fuckers tonight.
I mean, to be fair, we've
So-
gotten that a lot.
So I go up to Edmond Bike Night, and I was like, oh fuck, from the pump to Edmond Bike Night. And, like, I go up and talking to you guys, and you guys were like stressed because I mean, I think it was like one of the first 2 events of the season.
The season,
Yeah,
yeah.
the season. Yeah, we're all running around because Spanky has his role and I have my role, and then
Yeah.
our
We all
buddy-
have our roles.
Yeah,
And
we all have our roles to do stuff, and so when you come out to Edmond Bike Night, we want to hang out with
Yeah.
you guys, but we're legit most of the time running around.
Right,
doing
and that's kind of how it was because there was like 3 or 4 of us there. Me and Harrison, homeboy Harrison.
shit. Oh boy, Harrison,
We both put our bikes in there, and he got 5th place, and I got 4th place. But
he deserved fifth. He deserved every bit of fifth. And also, was that not the night did the KZ 1000 beat you
yeah,
out? Okay, you know the
he
story
got first
behind.
place.
You know the story behind that bike.
No,
right?
I don't.
Okay, so as a side, I really do like that guy's build. It's a cool bike.
clean.
It's super big and it's
It is not
a V twin.
a V twin.
So we were having a V twin night because one of the things that I talked about is like I have buddies that have shadows that are really cool.
If you don't chew big red, then fuck you.
That's right. And so that's the next shirt. So like, I wanted to have a V twin night because there's people that have cool V twins that are metric.
Yeah.
And so that kid comes up and he tells me what bike it is. I was like, what did you say? Because he said the same name like 4 times. I wasn't understanding. I was like, is it a V twin? He goes, no. And I was like, well, then you're going to be in another night. And he's like, I just built it. I built the whole thing. He fabbed his swing arm.
Yeah.
He
He
was a badass bike.
That
he
kid
built it from
the
like,
ground up.
ground up.
And when I think about what you had in your bike versus his, like you guys both built really killer bikes from the ground up.
Yeah.
I turned around knowing a little bit about your bike, thinking you're going to take first handedly.
No.
And then
I got more people to ask me why my bags weren't stretched that night than I did anything.
God. Hell yeah, brother.
This thing would be badass if it had apes and stretch bags on it.
Dude,
Seriously.
I know. Oh yeah.
And
Lot
then
of
old
hell yeah,
Tits
brother.
McGee out there in her purple Sportster.
Who took second, by the
Who
way?
took second.
Yeah.
But so I was like, well, you're not in V twin night, and then all of a sudden he's rolling over there, and I was like, I don't even fucking know anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I guess go get fucked. But
Well, that's what we all were like saying. Like, why is this dude over here?
yeah,
When even old girl in the Sportster was like, why is this boy over here? Because she would have won first place.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was the people voting. I think.
Yeah, because
Out of-
it was people's choice. So
Yeah.
we had nothing to do with that.
No,
but
and the $20 that I slipped you guys still didn't even work. So.
yeah. I was like, well, you're gonna need a lot more than 20 because I got all the tickets over here.
So the 4th place bike and the 5th place bike, the 4th place bike got like 2 votes, my own, and then no,
yeah,
I voted for Harrison and he voted for me,
yeah,
and then Donnie voted for me too,
yeah.
and those were my 2 votes, and then Harrison won.
Was
solo
Donnie
vote.
in that one too? When did
Donnie
No.
didn't put it in. He just can't.
He was
wrote up
there.
Yeah,
list.
he was. Did he ever put his in the show?
nope.
Because he put his on the front lawn. Because I remember holding his helmet. Because he goes like, "This helmet's $3,000," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And I'm holding it kind of not like haphazardly, but I'm like kind of lackadaisical about it. And he was like, "Hey, man," I was like,
Yeah.
I've held. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've held a $40,000 Chihuly before. It'll be all right. I got your helmet. Like I'm not moving. So I was like, I'm not gonna break my face tonight, but
But so going up there just hang out with the homies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
had some good food. At one time, me and homeboy Harrison, we did sneak off to Empire and just like take a break from the heat and
yo,
Yeah,
get away
yeah,
from all
yeah.
the madness. Because one lady
the
was
air
like,
conditioning is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
one lady was mad because we were like dipping on the sidewalk. She was like, "That's
yeah.
so disgusting."
Ah, get out of here. Well, I mean, it's that's the quintessential difference between like T-Bar and Edmond Bike Night. Is Edmond Bike Night is a a family thing and it's really fun. And It's a
Yeah.
good time for everybody that comes out. But T-Bar is just real fun because it's just hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like Edmond
we
Bike
don't
Night,
we don't
got
have to work.
rolls.
and
Yeah.
that's kind of the idea we had, thinking what we were going into is what Edmond Bike Night was not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to
Yeah.
have those differences.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys have a great thing going now out at the Chicken Shack.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's an hour and 20-minute ride for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was, I mean, even when it was over at the rail yard, it was still a long
Yeah.
ride. I had a lot of people who were like, man, I live in fucking Goldsby. I was like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I if it was Oklahoma City Bike Night, we'd have a bunch of different shit.
No,
going
yeah,
on,
for
but
sure.
yeah.
I mean, you guys are in the place you're at now, and it's a good atmosphere. You
Yeah.
guys, I mean, look what you guys did for me with the T-shirts a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, you had the whole entire dance floor
Uh-huh.
segregated off because
I don't know if it was segregated.
It was
Set-
roped
marked
off.
off,
It was
roped off. There was
ro-
velvet
yeah.
ropes. Like people of everybody could come there, but like the 2 gay guys with their wife
Yeah.
showed up.
I mean, there was a third one that
the
showed up
cover-ups.
in his 80s outfit, and we don't
Fuck
even
that
know
guy.
who he was.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I wanted it and then I didn't want it. But yeah, like so I mean, that was one of the things that's like I thought you guys were super cool with all your performance stuff because I hadn't really you hear about a lot of that stuff, you see it online, you see the Dynas doing crazy shit with the club style stuff on the West Coast, East Coast. You see the performance bagger scene. I see it quote unquote here where it's a lot of bolt-on stuff. It's pulled out of catalog.
Yeah.
But you guys were really about that life and you were really trying to make something.
we were trying
Yeah.
to establish Oklahoma in the scene.
Yeah.
And that was one thing, like the camaraderie that we had with the core group of guys, the original 7,
Yeah.
I think is what it was.
Yeah, I think it's about that.
So I think it was actually 6, and then Gilly showed up to the pump one night, like
Yeah, he found it like all organically.
trying to do a wheelie and stop doing wheelies, Gilly.
Stop doing the wheelies, man. Yeah, I think he's learned his lesson. It was funny. So
I mean, it'll be as soon
We'll
as
see.
as soon as the new wears off that paint job.
Does the scooter wheelie? Just
it will.
asking for a friend.
Yeah. So we were all at dinner out a couple weeks ago before we went up. I guess it was last week, and so Spanky wasn't there. So usually when Spanky's there, I kind of like relax a little bit because like he's usually my right hand or I'm his left hand, whatever. We're gonna switch first and second place. And so he wasn't there. So Gilly's next to me, and I got on it a little bit on the Yamaha, and he was like, "Goddamn, that thing will eat a little bit." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's like half throttle.
Yeah.
That's not even full throttle."
And Gilly's bike would eat too.
Oh
Yeah.
Gilly,
yeah, I thought
Gilly
he was
walked
pulling
away from me on I-35 when we were all meeting up at the Chopper Hopper one night. And, we were headed over to the Flycatcher, and Gilly walked away from me.
And Gilly has no fucks to give about that.
No.
Because like I was on the highway with him one time. I was like, oh yeah, he's probably gonna be because he's always like, I'm really chill.
Yeah.
all
No,
of a
he
sudden I'm like-
definitely chill, and then he's like,
No.
He's like chill, and then he's
What's
like,
funny?
Talk about people.
God, that's so loud.
that was weird. Sorry, that was wrong.
And what's funny is how everybody like Burrito. Oh, I'm chill.
Yeah.
Hanson.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
I'm
only
chill.
going 70.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you need to put a 1 in front of that
Yeah.
70.
like,
And
let me ride in the front with you guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You guys
They're
will find
they're
out
all
what chill
like,
is.
you know,
Yeah.
Harrison gets his new cam, and it's like, oh, I'm chill. Yeah, at 120.
Yeah,
You know, and I'm
It's-
back here fighting for my life, trying to keep up.
It brings me back to being 16 again because it's
Yeah.
like everyone's like, oh, I just did a bolt-on mod. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, that Pro Charger is, I mean, it's a bolt-on, but like, it's a bolt-on.
Yeah.
Like my bolt-ons as a teenager were like, let me go get an AFE cold air intake for bottles on.
Like, I remember my dad came home from somebody that worked on airplane engines and had all that orange like silicone hose. And
Yeah.
I made a cold air intake with one. I was
There
like,
you go.
check this shit out. And I was
Yep.
like, added 0 horsepower.
Yeah.
Actually took away.
Had the
But-
fake K&N air filter, you know, all up. There's like
the Spectra.
the size of
There
a
you go.
basketball,
Yeah.
you know?
That's where my purple accent started.
It's a Spectra. Yeah, back in the day, Spanky probably didn't see this, but it was black, red, this horrible blue. That red was almost maroon, and they
Yeah.
had this goofy ass purple. It was rare because you wouldn't
Yeah.
see it a whole lot. And when you were like, when it was there, like that's fucking mine, and you would snatch that shit. You'd be reselling it on fucking old Paris and shit. But so yeah,
Oh, dang.
so you had a really cool bike. You unfortunately had an accident.
Yeah. So it was March 2nd. I had my buddy and his wife coming over. We're gonna do some driveway drinking. That's what you do when you get to your 40s.
Yeah,
You,
that's what-
Drink.
we're fucking.
you drink in your driveway with your buddies.
Yeah.
So
You didn't live an hour away from us.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my old lady came by on the side by side with the kids on it, and I was like, well, I got to move my bike. So
Yeah.
I just went out and like pulled out of my driveway, went to my stop sign, which is literally 3 houses down from me.
Yeah.
Turned right, went down the hill. It was literally where the accident was a eighth of a mile away from my house.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot about accidents that happen like that where it's a bunch of shit that happens and it's, less than a mile away
Yeah,
from your house.
yeah, it's always less than a mile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's one of those deals. It's like we found out about it. Immediately start trying to figure out what's going on. Didn't know how bad you were. Didn't know how bad the bike was.
So come to find out, like, I never, unless I'm in my neighborhood, I never ride without my helmet on.
Yeah.
Like a mile to the gas station across the main road,
Yeah.
I put my helmet on, and I just got my brand new carbon mod
I
banded
know,
in,
dude.
and my visor and stuff and my Senna on everything was like there. The helmet just was not.
Yeah.
I do have a carbon fiber Ghost Bandit and love it to death.
Yeah.
But that mod band is what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
just
When
wasn't
you
here.
were talking about getting it, I was like,
Oh yeah,
God damn
Yeah.
it.
and it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
such a slick fucking helmet.
And I love it to death, but I don't have anything to ride.
Well, you got the 50cc out there. That you
yeah,
can take home
there
right
you go.
now. So scoot.
So I pulled out of pulled off my road onto the side road of my neighborhood, and a guy was test driving a car and turned left in front of me, like no turn signal. When I saw that it was unavoidable, grabbed my brakes and my clutch, closed my eyes, and I don't remember anything until I woke up in the ER.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and that's one of those things that happens with a lot of those accidents is, I've been riding again on the street since 2020.
Yeah.
And, I've met a lot of people, just like Spanky has at
Mhm.
Bike Night, and you meet a lot of people just out and about. They're like, oh, yeah, I had an accident. And they're like, I don't know what happened in the middle of it. And, like, from what I do for a living with civil engineering, I'm always trying to design things better to make it more safer for everybody, either if it's a sidewalk or if it's street. And there's so many stories where it's like, I don't even know what happened. There was also fast.
Yeah, like, and unfortunately, my old lady and my kids were standing in the front yard of the house that it happened in front of.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you were going to cry.
No, I got a break.
I was like, there's some tissues out, man. Just chuck a box of tissues.
Horse piss over here.
Horse
so,
piss?
Yeah, this old Coors Light.
I tried to find High Noon, but I couldn't
That's
find
all
it.
good. The High Noons get me hyped.
He was like,
They're-
"Oh, my fucking hand!"
a completely different version of Thick Ass Boy.
He'll be like,
Yeah.
26 twisted tea.
Why do you not have pants on, Thick Ass Boy? I've got a croc. That's why.
because who needs pants?
Pants are for nerds.
So I hit the car, flew 65 feet, landed dead on the top of my head,
Yeah.
split my head open, and then I rolled down the street another 120 feet. So when I was rolling, I wasn't flailed. I was completely tucked. My arms were crossed. And I don't know if that's like military training.
Yeah, I
or-
was wondering if that was
like,
what you got in the military.
Muscle
or not.
memory.
I mean, I did
Yeah.
rollover training and
Yeah.
helicopter crash training, stuff like that. But I've never like head, shoulders, knees, and no.
yeah.
What's that where you roll down the hill like as a kid?
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know.
I've
My parents didn't
done
teach me
that.
shit.
I've done that a bunch. Like,
Stop.
yeah, stop,
Drop.
drop, and roll.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Roll.
Dude, hold on. Both of you guys, have you ever been caught on fire? Have you?
Unfortunately, I have, but not not
yeah.
anything to me. Like I was actually in camis and someone sprayed alcohol in my camis,
Oh, shit.
and like I had my blouse there, so they threw my blouse on me and stomped me
Okay.
out. But I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have any no burns to me or
Yeah.
anything.
You
but-
weren't like in third degree. Have you
No.
ever, Spanky, have you ever been set on fire before?
I have. Yeah.
Did you remember Stop, Drop, and Roll?
Hell no, you didn't.
No. I
No.
ran around like a chicken until somebody tackled me and then
Stop,
patted me
drop,
out. Yeah.
Then they stopped, drop, and rolled you?
No,
Yeah,
they,
they
like,
stopped,
cut you
dropped,
out.
and rolled me because it was like, one of those things as a kid, like, because back in my day it was Dukes of Hazzard, and
Yeah.
I'm a little bit older, so it's like, I want to be a fucking stunt man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? You get the gas for the lawnmower, and so
Use diesel,
God.
dickhead. Zip it
no,
up.
we didn't have diesel. We had the fucking metal gas can that's the red and yellow, and
The
the
jerry
fully
can.
leaded bullshit.
Yeah.
Just pour some on me, okay, and then light it up, and I'm gonna ride a fucking bike down the driveway, and it did not.
Evil
Go
Knievel,
as-
he is not.
It
You
did
guys
not
didn't
go
even have
as-
color TVs back then.
Hey, no, we had color TV.
High five.
I remember.
They still wrote with chisels on
Yeah.
rocks.
I do
They were
remember.
still praying to Zeus.
hey, I do remember when we got cable. Like when it
Bro.
fucking came out.
When you had the little click box on top of the
Oh
TV.
yeah. And it was a line from like 1 to 63, and you'd
Yeah.
slide it across, and it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
How was the original Great Depression, bro?
Did you write Grips of Wrath?
Was Abraham Lincoln cool, bro?
I mean,
Dude, this is going to be the best podcast. It was Abraham Lincoln cool.
he was a dick.
What was Harriet Tubman like? Did she help transport you too?
So
I remember before we had to wear seatbelts.
they didn't even have seatbelts back then.
No, they
forced
didn't.
it.
No, they didn't.
Okay, so back to me. I'm the guest.
Because it's my podcast.
I went to the hospital. My old lady reached out to Donnie. Donnie said he'd let everybody in the group know. I don't know how that went. I didn't have my phone.
Yeah.
My
Also,
my
hold on.
boss, like my old lady called my boss and was like, "Hey, look, Caleb was just in a bad accident, and she beat the ambulance to the hospital."
Does she live by you?
No, she lives up off of 23rd somewhere.
Over here?
Yeah,
Okay.
she lives up off of like by the pump somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like 23rd and Lottie.
Somewhere she's got a
she was up there a lot because
Yeah.
we
Yeah, she
we
was.
would pass. We passed her quite a bit.
yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
was nice to see her there because, like, from riding, like you're gonna go support someone that
Right.
goes down.
Yeah.
And then we would see someone else that worked with you that was it was always a gaggle of people.
Yeah.
Like, you had a fucking
So, and that's what really like I enjoyed the most. Like, even though I didn't get any sleep at all, you don't go to the hospital to sleep.
No, how the fuck you don't?
Like, the 2 nights before my surgery on my ribs, like, was horrible.
Yeah.
My nurse,
Yeah.
she was absolute a demon.
She
Yeah.
was like, hold on, let me.
Touch your wiener.
She knows. She knows I like Asians, and she hated that fact. I love you, baby.
She was like, I will show you.
No,
There's a
she-
lot of that shit that comes
She's
out
like,
when you're in a hospital.
oh, you
Yeah.
want pain medicine?
So
Nah.
She
thankful,
was like,
yeah. My brother came in from South Carolina.
Yeah.
And
it's nice
he,
to meet your brother too.
yeah, he was so he, backstory on him, he got jumped and left for dead in
Yeah, this is a wild
2006.
story.
So he's been in the hospital atmosphere for a long time. Like, he has had, I think, 8 brain surgeries and stuff.
Wow.
And, so he knew like what to expect and how to help out in the hospital.
Right.
So he let my old lady go home and take care of the kids and do what she needed to at night and get some sleep so she
Yeah.
could be back up there during the day, because he would sleep with me, like, or he would sleep in a chair.
I was like,
He would
go
sleep.
for it. Go for it.
No, he would sleep. You guys leave what you do at Edmond Bike Night at Edmond Bike Night.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'll
so-
leave it alone.
He would like be the presence in the room with me at nighttime,
Right.
Yeah,
and
'cause it's
then
nice
my
to
old
have
lady,
that.
my old lady would come up there and like, I mean, I couldn't even roll over from Saturday the accident until
Yeah.
Thursday morning before the surgery. I couldn't roll
Yeah,
over
you couldn't
onto my right
hardly
side.
move.
Yeah.
Like, I could move my feet just a little bit because my hips both were dislocated.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to physical therapy and stuff for that, and it's getting better. But, my old lady would come up there during daytime and like nurse me up, and seeing you guys and the people who came and saw me really helped me like push through, and it
Yeah, we pushed
it
through.
meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you guys do at Edmond
We,
Bike
put,
Nights
we,
stays at
we
Edmond
pushed
Bike
through
Night.
that shit.
So-
We pushed through that shit.
Highest chime rate ever.
So you guys like really like helped me out. Like, you kept
Yeah.
my mental stability.
Yeah.
Like-
It takes the focus off.
But it takes
the-
the
Yeah.
hurt off of a lot of the things too.
Yeah.
'Cause even if you're bullshitting and you're hurting, you're bullshit.
The only thing bad about you guys coming up there, the amount that you did, is the fact of how much you guys try to make me laugh and how much it hurt.
Yeah.
Like, fentanyl
Yeah,
every 2
yeah,
hours
yeah.
on top of
Yeah.
10 milligrams of oxy. Like,
Dude, you
I
were
was,
dancing a couple times.
I was
and
high,
Yeah.
there was a couple times I was like, "Hey, buddy, what's up? You look like my mom." She was high like this too for a while.
bro. Like, I was like, one time I was like, I don't know what you just gave me, but it needs to be increased by 10 times. And then she popped me with something else.
She
The,
was
the
like,
day
"Bam!"
the daytime nurse did.
Yeah.
And I was living on a prayer. Like, I was high.
I remember when Desiree came in and your nurse, and she's like, I'm gonna give you some IV fentanyl, and you were like, no, I don't want to die.
Dude, that was hilarious. I was like, dude, yeah. The Fenty you get in the hospital is a little different
Yeah.
than the Fenty
Yeah.
we're gonna get out on the
Yeah.
street. of The
And
hospital.
then she gave you that, and you were like, eyes, this one's looking over here, and this one's looking
Yeah.
over
Dude,
here.
speaking of a major trip is
Oh, dude.
my K-hole trip.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
when we walked in and you were like talking about everything, you're like, I got ketamine last night. I was like, oh my
Dude.
God, tell me all about it.
Yeah. All right. So you know those like black light posters from the late 90s?
Right.
From Spencer's
Right.
Gifts.
Yeah, like where it's the crazy highlighter alien
Uh-huh.
colors
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
You were listening
So-
to a Tool album for fucking 8 hours.
Dude, it was like, I don't, Savage Gardens. I don't even know.
Yeah, because when I
It was
so we saw
it was
you,
Savage Gardens singing Creed.
I can,
I wanna take you high.
can we take you high?
Yeah. So, when I got to the hospital, I don't remember even getting into the hospital. I don't remember anything until they moved me from the ambulance stretcher to the table.
Lamps. Yeah.
So because I was in so much pain, I came out of whatever I was in,
Right.
Mhm.
and a couple weeks after, I was talking to the EMS, and he said I died basically in the
Yeah.
ambulance.
Wow.
I stopped breathing, was not responsive. And then he actually opened my lips and tilted my head back. I was going to put the breathing tube down my throat, and I started breathing.
And
So-
you're like, I don't want this shit in my throat.
No,
Yeah.
like,
Dude, getting a breather is hard.
and he said that he was like, bro, you need to start breathing. I'm going to give you this tube. And he lifted my head back, or head tilt chin method.
Right.
And Up in my mouth, and I started breathing out,
Yeah.
like real slightly, because I had a punctured lung and a collapsed lung. And so just to know that, like, I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be
Yeah.
in the condition I am. Like, my road rash is, I would say, 99% healed.
Yeah.
I still have 4 plates on my ribs. My foot is just bone bruising now, so I actually get out of my boot on Friday.
Nice.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited about that. My foot is real tender, but I mean, what should I expect? Like,
I mean, the biggest
I've been
thing
in a
you're
boot for 5 weeks.
well, and
So-
Right.
it's all said and done. You're alive.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
thankful for.
And-
especially
and-
like my old lady, like 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital, her father passed away.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely a reason why I'm here. Whether it involves me getting another bike or not, that's not for me to decide right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be here for like the support that I got to reciprocate it. Like, I went and got to see Martin Tuesday last week in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I thought I was strong enough to go up there and see him. And when I got there, dude, I broke down.
It's a lot.
Like, his
Even-
mom and sister were in the room, and I saw him, and I instantly had like flashbacks of me laying there, like in his pain
Yeah.
and the suffering that he's going through right now sucks. Like, it sucks, but I couldn't hold it together, dude. I started crying.
And
Like-
that's something that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to that, is that there's a lot more that goes into all that for everybody. Whenever especially because, like, you know, if you've been riding for a long time, you never had a significant accident, you maybe laid it down the parking lot or something like that. But like, once you've had something like that, it puts you into another.
Yeah, like
Puts
something
you into another brotherhood.
Yeah.
Traction fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And also, quit dropping the goddamn weights on the floor.
Yeah.
Stop shoving my femur back inside my body. So, just like being able to be there and support this community of guys and the guys that we ride with and see on a weekly basis, like that's what I'm here for. I'm not going to walk away from Club Style Oklahoma or Chubby Boy Magic
Right,
or Edmund
right.
Bike Night. Like, I may not be as active as I was before,
Right.
but I'm still going to be
You
a
were kind
part
of
of it.
inactive a lot of times, for being honest.
No.
I'm sorry I didn't show up every
mean,
week like
yeah.
you guys did.
I mean,
Man,
you
look,
got
I
you
just
got
was-
you
I was
got
bored.
you got kids. You got
Yeah, I
young.
mean,
You got young kids. You,
I
you gotta,
live 45 minutes
Yeah.
Yeah.
south of where they're doing it now, and I'm not going to drink and drive 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
not
Absolutely.
through Mustang for sure.
No. I
Like-
mean, Mustang PD's got a fucking number
Yeah.
out for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Let alone if
Like,
you had anything.
they
to
pulled
drink.
me over one night because my high beams were not on. They pulled me over because my headlights were too bright. They thought my high beams were on.
Yeah.
So when I did flick my high beams on, they were like, "Okay, bro, don't X-ray my soul."
Those LP6s are too much.
No, those were my day makers.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are your day makers?
Yeah, my day makers, dude. They were bright.
Yeah, man.
Like, and then I also had the switchback turn signals, which those put off a lot of light too.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the combination of both of those, when you're sitting at a stoplight and you're directly across from me, you're gonna think I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I might be, but
It's like
When-
it's like riding with Hanson.
yeah.
And-
So
or riding in
when-
front of him.
Yeah.
So when I did put the LP6s on there, it was like, holy cow!
Yeah.
It was night. It was day all the time.
Right.
Day. Do you want day? Do you want cloudy? Do you want full day?
So I was actually like looking into the covers, and I was just gonna run one.
Right.
So everything was installed, the brackets, the lights, everything was on the bike, and I was getting ready. Like, I had just gotten it serviced at OKC Chop Shop. So Shelby went in, and that's where we found the oil leak in between the transmission and the inner primary. He reshimmed the hubs and everything, did fork service on it, and got it ready to go. And I went back home and started assembling it, and I literally moved it out of the driveway that day and had my accident. And now it's sitting back in my garage
Right.
in pieces. I got it back from the tow company in completely different shape than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
And that,
And,
yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. Like, the bike's sitting somewhere for, a month, not in the
Your
care. Of, yeah. So, I mean, shit's gonna happen, especially when something it's that bright and shiny and flashy.
Yeah.
Especially when other people ride.
Yeah.
The parts they swap so easy, and when it's not under constant supervision, like shit's gonna get stolen.
Oh,
Yeah, things
absolutely.
happen.
So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully everything works out with insurance. Old boy didn't have insurance, so
He
was,
didn't have insurance?
No, he was test driving in that car.
So he should have insurance because of...
So that's
Well,
for my lawyers to
yeah.
figure out. And
Yeah.
I did hire lawyers to figure the whole situation out, because the dude who they were buying the car from hadn't had insurance on it, hadn't had it tagged in 2 years.
Oh, shit.
So it's been sitting. I don't know if he had it black tagged or what, but the guy and his dad were test driving it. The guy's dad lives in my neighborhood. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and I don't know, because I didn't talk to any of them. I mean, I was,
Yeah, like you're getting all secondhand.
I was laid up on the asphalt, head bleeding.
Your head bleeds a lot, as we found out.
Yeah.
I still got a bald spot on my head.
Do you really still? I thought you...
No, I all of my head has healed up. I don't have hair in that spot where I hit, where I landed.
Yeah.
And it was mangled dog food.
Yeah.
So
I'm living on dog food. I mean, that the one of the things is like, so Spanky and I both went through this with our buddy Eric. Is like, I got a notification that someone had been hit and killed on a motorcycle, and then so I sent it out to our group of friends at the time, and was like, hey, does anybody know? Was everybody at? Like, can we get a call? And then everyone calls in, and there's one guy that's not calling in, and then one of our friends that worked at the dealership at the time was like, it was our buddy that went down, and it's about a half mile away from the shop.
damn.
So, he got hit and killed by a car, and so you go through a lot of that stuff when you start riding a lot.
Yeah.
Where you have people that you've ridden with a lot, and they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
And the more that you motorcycle, you're gonna get into that.
Right.
But
And March was a hard month for us, especially like in this part
We
of
had-
Oklahoma City. Like,
We had a lot.
we had
Of
a
just
lot.
like,
Not, I mean, people we ride with, but people we know in
Right.
general. There was
Yeah.
a lot.
like people who aren't a part of Tuesday night or Thursday nights, that casual ride, like
Right.
my hell yeah brother friends, 2 of those guys went down.
Yeah.
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 And I mean, it's that time. Motorcycles are coming out.
Yeah.
People aren't
Yep.
used to it. People like more people now, which was funny, is that when I had my gun on me and I was open
Right.
carry,
Yeah.
people saw the gun before they saw the bike somehow.
Yeah.
And so I would always have my gun on me.
It's like a big bumper for you.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really don't like carrying a lot, but like, if it was like statistically, if I was going to be able to go through most accidents and miss most of them by like 90% because I
Yeah.
had a fucking pistol on my hip,
Right.
I'd be fucking hell yeah, brother, and
Oh, yeah.
all
I'd
day.
be-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I had a big Punisher patch and everything.
I'd have a damn shotgun holster in
Right,
my
right.
back.
You'd be like rolling around like,
Yeah.
yes, today is the day, Terminator style.
I'd be like
Yeah,
that
for
cop in the village just got his AR strapped to his
Back of
saddlebag.
his-
It's
It's
like,
a Honda ST1300.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time I see that motherfucker, I'm always like, "What's up, dog? How are you?" But I mean, and it really does. It's one of those things. It's like you lose brothers to a lot of riding accidents. Or I've had friends that lost people to 0 mile an hour where they fell over, they hit their head, clocked it, and they're just gone. But you living through your accident, your phone living through, your bike not living through, but like a lot of things could have happened that
Yeah.
day
Oh, yeah.
that could have been changed significantly.
I mean, the doctor told me my funeral should have been March 9th.
Yeah.
And for him to say that and me to still be here and be coherent, like,
Oh yeah, coherent. Let's
Dude-
just talk about that in the first
dude,
place.
I didn't even, so even though,
like you
I've-
should have had a TBI, or
dude, yeah.
your brain should have been on the road.
So
Yeah.
my head was split open and had 80 stitches in the top of my head. And I didn't even have a concussion.
Which is wild. 'Cause
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I had concussion after I fucking fell from 2 feet over into the parking lot. So
So maybe I banged up my head enough while I was in the military and playing sports growing up that they couldn't find anything wrong with. They're like, "All right,
was
bro,
it
what's-"
was all the crayons you ate when you were in the Marine Corps. That it
Dude.
just formed that protective wax
Yeah.
barrier around your brain.
maybe that's the key. Maybe that's the key.
Bro, you were in pre-algebra for 3 years. We-
You shut up.
I never figured out geometry.
Pre-algebra for 3 years and regular algebra for 2.
Dude, I was in geometry my senior year of high school.
Dude,
Caleb. I took geometry.
I took college algebra 5 times until I passed it.
I mean, I suck at math, and I did the same thing.
But see, the crazy thing, I was absolutely phenomenal at physics. Isn't
Yeah.
that
Really?
wild?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I can do,
Physics. I love physics.
I never got to learn physics.
dude, I can do basic
Calculus,
math like a motherfucker right now. Like,
Calculus, algebra, anything. It like fucks my world up.
Yeah.
Physics, biology, all that. Chemistry, not so much.
chemistry, I sucked at, but
chemistry,
I had a
I
horrible
sucked balls.
teacher.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
one of those things.
But
too.
my physics teacher, like, dude rocked. He broke it down for me. He showed me how to do it, made it fun, and
Well,
I excelled.
And
at it.
and what I'm nerdy enough, and it's physics has a lot of practical applications
Oh, yeah.
where
You use it
it's
every day.
like it's
Geometry does
it's
too if
like
you're playing pool.
no, but I mean
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
water flow through a pipe, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like so stuff that I'm like, oh,
Maybe if I did
Well-
geometry in high school drunk, I probably would have been better because
Yeah.
I played pool a lot better after I'd been
That's-
drinking.
Yeah. one of my geometry professors was like, "Yeah, you should go ahead and just do this drunk." When I was in college,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay." Did not help me, but yeah.
We're definitely talking about high school mathematics on the podcast.
Hey man, I don't know if you know this. We're only an hour into this 2-hour podcast, so get ready. So how did you get into motorcycling?
I grew up on dirt bikes and stuff as a kid.
Okay.
I had, I've always had something to ride, like growing up.
Yeah.
And then my dad has always had a bike. When I was in high school, he had a Kawasaki KZ1000.
Dude, your dad's a
Yes.
bad motherfucker
So-
right there.
Dude, I
Um,
fucking love KZ
Dude,
1000.
KZ1000's a
The
shit.
direct drive. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
In 1989, it was the fastest performance
Yes.
production bike on the market.
Yes.
And
Prince
So-
Purple Rain.
Okay.
it was black, black cherry.
It was black. Very distinctly, it was black.
cherry
Uh-huh.
is the color of that bike, and that's what I rode in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
rode in high school?
That's what, because my dad had it. So when my dad wouldn't ride it, I would sneak off. The last time I rode it is my best friend, his little brother was probably 12 or 13 years old, and my best friend had just gotten his license, and
Okay.
he came over, showed me his new car and stuff. Well, I was showing him that I was riding the bike. So I'm in the neighborhood, and it's like a big S curve.
Okay.
Well, his brother gets in the car. 12 or 13-year-old brother gets in the car and almost smokes me on my dad's bike.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I'm talking about, like, I almost laid this bike over,
Yeah.
and my dad's standing in the front yard, and he sees it. And I come into the grass because I'm shook up,
Yeah.
and that's the last time I ever rode that bike. My dad sold it shortly after that.
I was going to say, does
So-
your dad still have it? But
No.
Okay.
So, my dad got his Harley. I graduated and went off to.
Sorry. The guard dogs, the show rep, it's over here. Hold on. I'll be back in just a second. Keep talking.
So, my dad, we lived out in North Carolina, and I can't remember the name of the dealership, but it was Ray Price Harley Davidson in Raleigh, North Carolina. My dad bought his bike from. Well, he was bringing it home from the dealership, and the straps on the trailer broke. So he's going around a corner,
Right.
and next thing he knows, he sees his brand new Road King just tumbling down the road.
Oh,
It's like 6 miles on it. Like,
God.
so he goes back, and that's one reason why Harley Davidson, I guess, doesn't strap bikes down in trailers anymore. You have to strap your own bike down unless Harley's transporting it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
How true that is, I don't know. My dad, who knows if that's how it is or not.
Right. Right.
But so my dad got a completely new bike, which was the bike that I had. So, lots of chrome, hell yeah, brother, like Road King is what my bike used to be.
Right.
And
Right.
so I bought the bike for my dad. It was vivid black, Road King, chromed out. Oh, chrome would get you home, right?
It will get you home. Yeah.
Yep.
Or dome, whichever one.
Yep. I do.
So,
I do love my chrome bike.
so I bought the bike. My grandmother died in 2019. I went home, and the bike had been sitting a couple years in my dad's garage. He had it on a stand. I guess a horse walked in, something bumped it, and knocked it off the stand.
Oh
And,
shit.
so it like bent the crash bar. And my dad just didn't ride anymore because all of his buddies, like he had buddies who had series of incidents and accidents and went down, and it just for a guy who's almost 60, like he didn't ride anymore. He didn't have anybody to ride with, and
Right.
the scene was changing.
It really does. The scene really plays a pivotal role into that. And then when you don't have your core group of friends that are riding
Yeah.
anymore, whose is that? Is that yours?
No, my
Get the fuck out of here.
my shit's turned off, baby.
Mine is too, but it's an emergency contact, so that's coming through.
Okay, whatever.
I even got my Amber Alerts turned off. Fuck them kids.
Dude, the first time I met someone that turned their Amber Alerts off, I was like, don't you have kids?
Yeah,
And they were like, yeah, fuck those kids. I was like,
fuck them
"Ooh,
kids.
Okay.
So,
Mine is actually my kid texting me. So
Oh, shit. Well, hello.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Actually, that's pretty important. So I'm not going to give you any more shit about that.
no, still fuck them kids. So, my grandma passed away. I went home to North Carolina. My dad was like, "Look, you can buy the bike." So I bought the bike from him, brought it home from North Carolina, and at the time I had a 2018 Road Glide special.
Right.
It was a White Sands
nice.
114.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a big wheel bagger on it because that's the scene I was in.
Right,
That's the
right,
guys I hung
right.
out with. Well, like that bike is gone, and I'm focusing on my bike.
Yeah.
And it started out as one thing and ended up as what it was.
Yep.
And I loved it. I absolutely love being out on that bike because I love the attention it got. I'm
It
not
did get a
gonna-
lot
I'm
of
not going to
attention.
fucking lie. Like I loved how people would come over and all these cool bikes that I think are cool. People would come over and be like, "Damn, that's nice."
That's a
Yeah.
nice bike.
But that's
Absolutely.
also one reason why it was torn down to the frame and powder coated
Mm-hmm.
extreme lime green with chrome mystic flake on top of it, and it was tri-coat pearl Ford tri-coat pearl white.
Right.
So
Right.
it sparkled.
Oh
And
yeah. No, it's
mean-
beautiful.
Was a legitimate diamond in a goat's ass.
I didn't
and-
build it for it to be a show bike. I built it to ride it
right.
because my plans were to ride it until I found something that I wanted, like a newer bike, because I knew that little 88 wasn't going to keep up with the scene.
Right.
But it was cool. It was always something
It
that
was neat.
I always wanted to have that in the garage. I never was planning on ever getting rid of that bike. Like, literally, I was texting Tony 2 days before the accident or the day before the accident. I was like, I'll never get rid of this bike unless I crash it.
Yeah.
No,
Famous
yeah,
last words.
yeah.
Yeah, because we were in our group chat. You were talking about it, and then all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh yeah, like if this thing crashed, I could get this, and this," and then like, so that happens, and I'm working on one of my rentals, and then something happens over my rental, and I get my motorcycle trailer, and I load it up with a bunch of materials because I literally looked at Spanking and go, "No one's gonna need this trailer tonight. No one needs a transport."
Yeah.
And then like, you had left. I was on my way home. I got a notification, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
So
I mean, it like going into the situation. Yes, I could have reacted completely different. I could have not even got on the bike. I could have just pushed it right in the garage. But
right,
I mean, something told me to get on my bike.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never ride without my helmet on. And
That was
for
one of
me, to be in Crocs, shorts, and a cutoff T-shirt.
were you in a
Like,
cutoff?
I was in
Was
a
it down
damn-
here and the arms, or was it like?
No, so when I mean cut off, my nipples were cut out of it.
Okay. Oh, dirty. They were pierced. It was good.
Yeah, they used to be. My piercings came out when I was on a jet ski.
Oh.
No, literally, it's just like the ball fell out.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
So-
Well, that okay.
Yeah.
That sounded a lot
So-
more horrendous.
No, I didn't rip my nipple rings out.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? I'm fucking almost 40.
Okay,
Time to take them out.
Yeah. Like I'm married.
Yeah.
What you gonna do with these anymore?
Yeah, my 3-year-old daughter is like, Daddy, what is that?
And you're like,
I'm your mama's daddy. Who the daddy now?
No, I understand what you said about your bike, about building up. So, like with my Sportster, that was like I built that,
Mhm.
and like I didn't paint it, but I had it painted,
Right.
and it was my idea. So everything I've done to that was like I had a vision in my head of how I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And then when I got it done, I was like, oh yeah, that actually really came together.
Yeah.
You know, and so like you said, you go out and not trying to be vain, but when somebody comes up and they're like, damn,
It makes you feel good.
damn,
doesn't it?
I like that
Yeah.
bike. And it's like, yeah, it does. And then I'm kind of the same way, like, I'll never get rid of that thing, you know,
Right.
just because, one, I like it. It was the first Harley I ever got. Well, second.
Yeah.
And the first one I got never made it past a roller. It was a basket case. And then I learned my lesson the hard way from, you know, first foray into Harleys, where it's like going and buying stuff from swap meets or
Yep.
trying it. Will this fit? Oh, yeah, it'll fit.
Oh,
Oh,
anything will fit.
Everything will fit. It may take a machine shop, and you may have
Yeah.
You
to
may take your own.
spend double what it would cost just to
See,
buy
you
the
guys
new
want to know what
part.
sucks about my first Harley? 06 Street Bob. Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
Plumbing fittings on the front forks.
no.
Okay.
A car cut out in front of me, turning left, and I fucking totaled it.
How long you had it at that point?
I had it 7 months.
Okay, so you had
Wow.
it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you had built a rapport with that bike.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
See, my first.
like I said, like my dad is a hell yeah brother. Like
Yeah.
leather T-shirt. Like,
Right. Right.
like he's a hell yeah brother. He's got the 1,000,000-mile ass, like, or whatever, the iron seat.
butt?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
iron butt.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's done like the ride from Orlando to Sturgis and
Okay.
back and forth across the United States.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
Like-
he's a little bit more than a hell yeah brother.
so
But
he's more like that movie Wild Hog.
Hog.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
my dad. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, him
I-
and his doctor buddies are riding across the United States.
Is
and-
your dad a doctor?
no,
What's your dad do?
he does cremations. He's a funeral.
What
home.
the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah, he does. He's like the manager.
Job security.
He's a manager of a funeral home.
He's a manager. He's like, well, you could get buried in a cardboard box.
Yeah, no,
But
actually, he told my wife, he was like, "Hey, look, if he fucks up, I know a guy to get rid of him."
thanks, Dad.
No, like in front of me, he's on speakerphone, and we're in the car, and because my dad didn't come out here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so I've always had this question too. Is that your mom lives here in Oklahoma now?
so my mom went to prison in California for drug trafficking when I
Okay.
was really young.
We don't have to
So-
talk about this if you
No,
don't.
you're
want to.
good. And then after she got out of jail or prison or whatever it was,
Prison. It
her
was prison.
her mom lived in Atoka. So
Oh, so you're originally you've got some Okie in your blood.
no.
How did you
no.
how the? All right, hold
So
on.
my
You've been down there before, right?
yeah, oh yeah.
How the fuck did they wind up there?
So my mom's mother,
Meth and dicks.
best friend from high school.
Okay.
So like back in the Great Depression, actually.
Right. Right.
When Spanky graduated.
Probably not far off.
So
Dude, that's so good.
her best friend was from Oklahoma,
Okay.
and she owned a quilt shop. So after my grandmother divorced my mom's dad,
Okay.
she moved from California out to Oklahoma to do business with her best friend.
Okay. All right.
So she had been out here 15 plus years or whatever at the time when my mom got out of prison in like 2011, I think.
Okay.
And my mom left California and moved out to Atoka. And she was the night crew cook at the truck stop in Oklahoma.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Your mom fucking parties.
Yeah.
She never stopped partying.
So my mom actually has like friends. I guess there's an outlaw club down there or something.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, I've gone to K River. I'm like, what?
You're like, Mom.
It's like, what?
She's
She's like, I've been on the back of a bike and showed my boobies before.
You're like, no.
I want to see your mom's boobies. When we go to the house.
I hope not.
Hey man, it's just like all pairs of tits. You don't have to see them, but I want to see them all. I've seen my
Bigger-
mom's a couple times. I don't want to see
Hey,
them ever again.
Big or small, I love them all.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, if I ever become your dad, I'm not giving you gas money.
Motherfucker, you're too old for gas. You're only 10 years older than him. 10,000. Yeah, I was always curious.
Age is just a number.
So yeah, my mom's been down there since 2011, and we didn't have a relationship until probably about 2016.
Okay.
So
Right before you moved here.
right after I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got here in 2015. All right.
So I was moving to Oklahoma. I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna come through, just say hi in 2015.
Yeah.
And then I went there and I was like, well, she's not too bad. Like, she's cool. Like, and you give everybody a second chance. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah.
like. I'm gonna give her a second chance. So I did, and like I never thought she'd be watching my kids like
Right.
while I go to Rednecks with paychecks. She watched my daughter for 4 days while I went and partied in the mud.
So
Wow.
so when did you last have contact with your mom before the 2016?
It had been off and on since like 1996.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't seen her in person, but one time since 1996 until 2016.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that was something that a lot of people don't realize when you have your mom or a parent that's a criminal or a drug addict or
Yeah.
been in and out of jail, and
Yeah.
not necessarily saying they're a criminal, but they've been out. Like you get a 20, 30 years out of them, or you get a long stint. They get out, and most of the time they want to try to do better.
yeah,
So,
I mean, she definitely trying to do better, but there's still like stuff that I recognize and I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
That her memory is like real skewed.
Yeah.
Where
Right,
mine was
right.
just so
laser focused on that. Yeah.
so like or like my thoughts of those memories are just so fucked up
Yeah.
that I think it was something completely different, and she
Yeah.
may be right, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where like I called my dad at 2:00 in the morning because her and I've been out drinking. So I lived with her for 6 months in 2019,
Right.
Okay.
like Monday through Friday, because I worked in the area.
Yeah.
Then I would come home on the weekends.
Okay.
And I did that for 6 months in 2019 and then into January 2020 before COVID hit. So I slept on an air mattress in our living room
All right.
for 6 months.
Nice.
So we
You're
would
like,
go,
hi, mom.
Yeah, we would go out drinking during the week because she was the manager of a bar,
Right.
and we would just get sloshed up.
Right.
Okay.
And she would we'd be at the damn truck stop eating breakfast at 2:00 in the morning, and she'd like start reminiscing, and I'm like, that's not how that fucking happened at all.
Oh yeah. No, I went through the
So-
same thing with my mom too, where a lot of that was like, I remember this happening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's like, no, that's not how it happened. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I have
Yeah.
multiple witness accounts that say
Right.
that I was right.
Yeah, like
So-
I've even called my brother and like in tears, like, bro, tell me that I'm right, and he's like, yeah, no, like,
Yeah.
her
That-
her thought and idea of that skewed for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and especially when someone has been to, removed from their children or from a family member
Right.
for that long, like,
Well, her dad paid for my dad to move us like from California to North Carolina to be by my dad's parents.
okay.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, going through that with bullshit with my parents and everything else, it's kind of like you learn, like, just let that shit go.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's-
Because it was like what I realized was, I'm never gonna get the apology that
Right.
I think or
That you-
that I expect.
right.
And because it took a long time that I would get angry with them, and like I'm not close with my parents.
Mhm.
You know, there's not a lot of like growing up. I was on like they would leave, and I was 12.
Yeah.
I'd come home from school and there'd be like $20 on the counter, like go on the lake, be back. You know, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
And
just like, I
so-
guess I'm here now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I raised myself. I learned to take care of myself.
Mhm.
That's kind of where
Yeah, I used to steal like
My-
drug money from my mom to
Oh,
go
yeah.
buy groceries
Yeah.
from being my brother and sister. Like,
I used to make drug money so I could have
I-
money. But
yeah.
but it's like, no, that's where your hood,
Well, I mean,
rat shit.
I was 8 years old riding my bike down I-8 or whatever it is
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Reno, Nevada.
I used to.
You
I used
live
to.
in the fucking armpit of America.
I lived
Reno?
right outside. We lived right outside Reno on the California border.
There
Oh,
were
yeah,
there
dude.
was several times I sold my dad stereo equipment that I boosted because I'm like,
I
need-
became
need-
an
I
expert
need-
radio removal.
Oh yeah,
artist.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
With a
Yeah.
with a flathead screwdriver. It's so easy,
yeah.
just pop pop. But yeah, it gets to that point where I find like I had a deal for myself, and it was like I realized like I'm the only one carrying that weight.
Mhm.
Like they don't see that way.
Yeah.
And even if they did, I'm not going to get the apology that I think I'm going to deserve or
Yeah.
that I want. And if I got it, how would that make me feel? Is it going to change anything? And is it going to be that aha moment? And
Right.
but
Dude,
it was like
you sound like my therapist from 2000.
No, I tell you what,
Oh,
you know-
hey, by the way, like I had a therapist for a year and a half or a year, and I was like, man, like he would all the time say the same shit. And he's like, yeah, but I was like, no, man,
Dude,
you're not
my-
going to get anywhere because it needs to be all
Yeah.
internal and all. So
And-
like not going too far into all that shit,
Yeah.
but like,
Well, mine was like, you forgive for you,
Mhm.
and I don't forget
No,
but,
for sure.
But it's like,
You keep a receipt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said,
You've made peace with yourself
Yeah.
about the situation,
Yeah.
and that
And-
was my
and-
hardest thing to get over.
and I've told
Right.
my brother. So my oldest brother has had even worse issues with my parents, and like he didn't speak to them for probably close to 30 years.
Mhm.
He's just the nicest guy. too.
And I was the only one in the family actually he talked to for the longest time, and you know, he has held on. He's older than me, and so he's held on this
Man,
stuff.
he's
And,
ancient.
and yeah, he is.
He was around when the fucking wolves were made.
Damn
And-
dinosaur bones.
And I kind of told him, I said, you know, I liken dealing with my parents is to like handling snakes. Or you know, it's like you put on safety equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I know if I go up and see my dad, you know, it's like he's gonna walk up and go, "Wow, you've gotten fat." It's like, "Oh, thanks. Glad to see you too."
Yeah.
You know, or it's always gonna be some shitty comment. "Oh, do you need money?" You know, no, I don't need your fucking money.
No.
Well,
You know,
like,
you
the-
know,
The
you're like,
funny thing about that is now is like, and I don't know if this has happened for you, but like, Spanky's dad loves me a lot, and then my dad loves Spanky. It's like I haven't talked to my dad in like 4 weeks, and all of a sudden he's like,
Right.
"What's he up to?" He's fucking working, man.
right.
I mean, that's like it is. Like, and one reason I value my friendships so much is because growing up, not having a mother figure there, because
Yeah.
like y'all, my dad was a fucking playboy.
Yeah.
Playa.
My dad
Mine
would
was not, but
my dad would use me and my little brother as bait to pick up women.
your dad's a
Like,
player.
no, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Up until I was a sophomore in high
Ladies
school.
love
like,
single
my dad-
dads. Good fathers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
oh yeah.
yeah.
That's like
So-
Wet.
it's like getting a puppy.
my dad, my dad told me he was going out of town one time, and needed to stay with my grandparents, and I forgot something at the house, and I went home to our house, which was right across town, and he was banging one of my buddy's moms.
What?
Yeah,
Scandalous.
for sure. Like my
Your dad
buddy,
got down,
dude,
dude.
my buddies would go in my dad's room and steal condoms from him. Like my dad, like
Bring me
Rico-
back those magnums.
dude. Rico Suave. Like,
Yeah, he was like, "I get down,
yeah.
man. I don't."
So my dad got remarried in 2002, and up until that point in my life, like my grandmother and my dad's mom and dad were like my foundation, and then my mom's father was like my wild upbringing.
Yeah.
When I was 7 years old, I could operate a skid steer and a motor grader
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
because I would skip school riding my dirt bike
Right.
Uh-huh.
right past the school
Yep.
up to my grandfather's house.
Get
and
fucked. Yeah.
I would go work with him while he was doing his construction company.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had to repeat third grade. I was so good at it the first time. Because I mean, I literally like they called CPS because I missed so many days of school.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I
And-
went through that too. Like I just 8th grade and then sophomore and junior year, my dad like got an email or got a letter that was like, if your kid keeps missing school, we're taking your dad to jail. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
sophomore year because we had 6 classes, 2 semesters.
Mhm.
You know, and I got 11 Fs and 1 D my sophomore year, and 2 weeks after school was out, my mom's like, "Hey, we've got to go. Like, come on, we got an appointment." And I'm like, "Okay." And then we show up in front of the school. And I'm like, "What are we doing here?"
She's like, "You're a
She's
fucking
like,
idiot."
"We have an appointment," and I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking
I
about."
don't even go here.
Yeah, yeah,
What is this?
pretty much.
Yeah.
And go in, and they're like, "Hey,
To show up in the horse and carriage. in front of
you're
school.
yeah." They're like, "You're gonna be in, be a sophomore again," and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so yeah, they were like, "No, you're gonna be sophomore again." And the lady was like, "Oh well, you could go to night school, summer school, correspondence courses.
You could
and
go to the goddamn.
you could,
US
like, do
Capitol and
this-
You're still fucking retarded.
Well, no, she's like, you could do all this, and then you would graduate with your class, but."
I'm
She
going
was
to the
like,
Air Force.
She was like, "You can't do it," and I'm like, "Oh, that's all I needed," because then it was like, just
Yeah.
tell me I can't do something,
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna do it.
yeah,
His government number was 16.
yeah.
Yeah, it was Abraham Lincoln was 13.
him,
and he-
him and the Wright brothers started
Hey,
the Air Force.
my government number was 22.
The right- Holy fuck. I just read a thing about how the guy that watched the Wright brothers fly the first
That
time.
was Spanky.
Yeah.
The first time the guy watched
Hey guys, can I come along?
the first dude to watch the Wright brothers fly was like, it wasn't that impressive. And I was like, you mean to tell me that they flew for like 200 foot, like 8 foot off the ground? Like,
Yeah.
if that's basically almost the ceiling coming over on top of you.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
In Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina.
Yeah. I was how far were you from it?
Like an hour and 15 minutes.
Did you ever take a school field trip out there?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I
On-
mean, we've
On his
we
little
vacationed.
50cc.
Yeah. No.
KZ1000. He's like out there about 75 or 45 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
My 1991 Suzuki Samurai.
Ooh,
Nice.
Samurai?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Samurai.
I was fucking hot shit.
Yeah. Okay. So what year did you actually graduate high school?
I graduated 03, 04.
God damn.
Okay. So you had it. So what year did you have your 91 Samurai?
I had it from 2000 to
Dude, you were hot shit because
Yeah.
it was old at that
it was
point.
91.
Yeah, but like, dude, the Samurai and the Sidekick, the Geo Sidekick, or not? It wasn't the Sidekick.
The Geo Tracker,
Tracker, and then what was the
the
Sidekick?
rodeo.
The rodeo.
Rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sidekick was after the Samurai.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like those are all like the hot fucking beach
Yep.
cars. Because then you get into the there was a Jeep that was a CJ, the one that you used in the Jurassic Park films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was
The
the
Sahara.
The Sahara, that was what it was.
Yeah.
Like you had the Sahara, you had the Sidekick. I mean, you had all those.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, if you were even, it didn't matter.
So I had
Didn't
like
matter if you were in Minnesota, you were the hottest shit.
Yeah.
the hottest girl in my school was like, take me four-wheeling, take me off-roading.
You're like, okay.
Yeah.
you're like, all right,
Yeah.
got it.
Like,
Ass,
and then
cash,
so
or
I
grass.
went to the Marine Corps right after I graduated, and somehow it just stopped running. But my brother was notorious to ruin every car he ever drove.
Okay.
Like,
Having met your brother, I can see that from his face.
so, yeah. I mean, I had a good lifestyle growing up. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, we all got trauma, but I mean, it makes me the person I am today, and that's one reason why I care about friendships so much.
Yeah.
Because my friends are my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like me, like, yeah, my mom lives 2.5 hours away, but with the void of my childhood and her not being there for whatever reasons, whatever, like my friends are my family.
Yeah.
And I've really taken the death of my father-in-law really hard
Right.
because, I mean, he has been my father figure for the last 4 years.
Right.
Correct.
And he has accepted me in like I accept other people. And I really, like, Harrison's my fucking homeboy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
why you picked that one, but no, I'm kidding.
maybe
love
it's,
you,
I will say.
maybe it's because I looked at all you other motherfuckers and I knew I couldn't beat no one else in a foot race.
I still got a foot race. You
And
haven't done it yet.
And I had a chance at
With
beating
Harrison.
him.
Yeah. Ron Jeremy was
So-
I'm
I didn't
saying-
want to make him feel bad, so I made sure it was a tie.
Yeah. I want to say you edged him out by about half an inch.
Well,
Was that when I
I-
was gone to Tokyo?
I did come out of a
think so.
crock.
Yeah.
You did.
You came out of croc.
Yeah.
I did come out of a
I
crock.
came out across a croc.
So,
I will.
Yeah.
I will agree with you. The group that we've kind of formed into and like-minded individuals,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's like
we all fucking care about
we
each
all
other. That's
yeah
what it
yeah
is. Like,
yeah.
I'm
You,
still not
we're
entirely for sure for
we're-
me, but
we're all motherfuckers.
I mean,
you know, it's
the
like
only one that I really have the biggest problem with, Hanson.
yeah, he's a dick.
No,
he's a
like,
piece of shit.
He just wants to fucking control the page. love
I
you,
love you,
Hanson.
No, patriarchy and whatnot. No, that's so I learned from a very early age. It's like I had a bunch of friends I grew up with in the
Yeah.
neighborhood because I had such a dysfunctional family because of my upbringing.
That was your escape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so when I started, I worked with a guy who had a really healthy upbringing,
Mhm.
and he would give me shit all the time because he's like, it's like working next to fucking Vin Diesel. 'Cause he's like, when your brother calls, I don't know if it's a legitimate family member or if it's someone you know that you call quote unquote brother. And I was like, that's not the point.
Right.
My brother, my sister, my
Yeah.
uncle, my aunt,
No, for sure.
my dad, I had at one point I had like 8 moms.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, they called. I had to go take care of them.
Right.
And so it was really important to me. So like, it's you build a family that you don't necessarily have. I have a biological father that's really nice and caring, but like we're not as close as I would like it to be. My sister and I are fucking a train wreck. We're not fucking a train wreck, but we're a fucking train wreck.
Good
on a
catch,
train
good
wreck?
catch.
No.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
She listens to very
you and Electra, huh?
Now, I definitely see the connection between y'all
I
two.
mean,
Yeah, we're fucking train wrecks.
y'all be fucking each other.
But like,
I mean, if I wanted to fuck him, I would just go for a sister. They both have the same mustache
oh my
and
God,
beard.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, Electra.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, but like that was something that it's so like,
That's me. Sorry.
no, you're fine. It's ambient noise. But like, it's one of those deals. It's like when you meet people that really mean, and I have friends that I've known for a decade before you guys that like if they call like that guy's a homie. He's been there for me before.
Yeah.
He might not be a close relative at this point, but he's still a homie.
Yeah.
Like Devin, like what was it last night? Got his new fucking
Yeah.
fairing on. And then he's gotten pulled over by the
Was
cops.
it last
Yeah.
night? No, it was the
Two-
night
it was
before.
2 nights
Two
ago.
nights ago.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, 312 ticket.
Monday
Ooh,
night.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Union City.
Dude, Union City, like,
fucking
They don't
no-
play.
No prisoners at that
so I
motherfucker.
used to,
They're
I used
like-
to work in Union
They're
City.
like, we're getting ready for the Christmas party, you motherfuckers.
It's
Dude, I-
fucking April.
we donated so much stuff to the town of Union City and from working at the brick plant.
Right.
And, I mean, we gave that town so much. They still would give me shit. I literally had the same cop pull me over because of my clearance lights.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, like, but I
Jesus.
went like 4 months without fixing
Right.
one
Fair
bulb.
enough, fair enough.
because I just didn't care. Like,
Right.
I
You're like,
drive,
fucking clearance lights.
dude. I drive to work at 4:15 in the morning,
Yeah.
and I get off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Who the
I-
fuck needs to worry about
Who
this?
wants to see my lights at 4 o'clock in the morning? You can see my bright ass headlights
Yeah.
and the turn signals on my mirrors, but why the fuck do you care? But ultimately, found out he didn't like them because they weren't amber; they were
Oh,
white.
White. Okay.
But everything except my taillights on the truck are white.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
So.
fuck off.
But when he found out I worked at the brick plant, he was like, "All right, I'm gonna stop hassling you."
He's like, my uncle, my brother, my cousin brother,
Yeah.
my sister uncle. Yeah, like you're like, God damn it.
You guys are paying my paycheck.
But yeah.
But like that's one of those things. Like he texted in the group. He's like, hey, you guys might like one of y'all might have to come grab my
Yeah.
bike. And I was like, immediately, I had a beer in hand. And I just put it down. I went, okay, cool. I'm gonna go smoke 2 cigarettes. I'm gonna pound water, and then I went to go load the trailer up because I was like, I backed the truck in the driveway. I was like, all right, so I backed it out. I was like, well, if you-
Well, I'm 12 minutes from there.
yeah. I
So-
knew that you got Ozzy or
Like,
new puppy and all
well,
that stuff going on, but
That's all good, but when a homie's in need, a homie's in need.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and
When,
I think
when a
that's
homie's in need, the honeys will breathe.
Yeah.
but I think that's one of the things that's most important is like you run into a group of guys that are really
Genuine.
Yeah.
they're not going to change
Yeah.
because something happened, nothing's ever happened between you and I so far, but if you said something that pissed me off, I'm gonna be like, hey man, like I didn't like that. Like
Yeah.
like I I catch a bunch of shit about a lot of things in my life, but I'm like, hey man, like it's still my homie.
If there's something I say that pisses you off, go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
No, seriously, like
Yeah.
be a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, hey, look, bro, that fucking pissed me off. Like
Yeah.
we can talk it out. I'm
Yeah.
40 years old, dude.
Absolutely.
man.
Holler
I'm
at me.
40.
We can
Yeah.
we can
Right.
talk it out. We can hug it out, and then once it's squashed,
We can go find Squirrel's sister.
right? Absolutely.
Dude, if
Won't
you
have to
want
look hard. That's a big
Dude,
target.
no, oh my god! I'm gonna show you a photo. All right, for
You're gonna
everyone
have
that-
nightmares.
All right, so just everyone that's ever not seen my actual desk, when I worked at an office, there's this really beautiful photo of me and my newlywed wife walking out of the ceremony. And so it's us going down the alleyway and the sidewalk, and then all of a sudden you could just see this pair of tits in the side of the photo.
Kim's.
No, it's my wife's. Or no, it's not my wife's.
Yeah.
It's my sister's.
So it's your sister wife.
So you can see my sister's tits for about 3 foot of the fucking
It's
photo.
P Nasty's old.
No, like seriously, you can see my sister's tit for like half of that fucking photo, and everyone's like, who's that?" I was like, "That's my sister."
That's a stripper
Yeah.
That was the stripper I paid for the
in Pensacola
And the-
Beach, Florida.
And
Pepsi Cola.
the tits are resting on the stomach.
Dude, oh my god! If she listens to this episode, I'm not gonna listen to her for a little bit. But Yeah.
I owe that bitch.
Yeah.
Send him a picture. We want to see him.
Send the titty point. What is it? What is that actual Instagram page?
Okay,
He's
all right,
like,
it's,
I don't
no,
know.
It's Titty Point. So it's a couple guys who live local to me, and
Okay.
And it is TIDDY.
Yeah, I was
Titty
trying to remember
point.
it the other day. Hold on, I'll be back in a second. I gotta go do
No,
things. in
that's
this.
What? No.
So
No.
Titty Point is ran by
Don't
a
break
couple
the
guys
seal.
who live like right down the street from me, and what they do is they ride side by sides.
Oh, okay.
So they go to like Crossbar and all those
Right,
other places.
right.
And I mean, they're just even their wives are on the page. Like, old boy's wife is like,
right.
she's got her titties out. So you submit a titty to the page. They give you a koozie and some stickers. Shout you out if you want it.
Right.
Some of the titties on there.
Are like
No, they're anonymous titties.
Oh, okay.
And so they've actually reached out to me and they're like, hey, we want some help because I used to run an Instagram page.
Right.
And I mean, it's a lot of work. Like,
Yeah, it
you guys
is.
know. But
Yeah.
it's even more work when you're getting titties. No, I'm serious. Like,
Not right. No, I get it.
the amount of DMs you get from people asking about those titties and stuff,
Right.
or asking whose ass it is or stuff like that. That's where it's overwhelming. Like,
Right.
bro, chill the fuck out. Your wife is posted all over your Instagram, and you're sitting here wondering.
Right. It's being thirsty.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're just a couple fucking cool dudes who, like, they like to have a good time. They
Yeah.
like to go and drink beer and ride side by sides and stuff. And easy, they're killer.
You are cut off, sir.
Yeah, I'm going.
You're gonna
to.
go
So-
face first into the floor or the table.
So, it's TIDDY point,
Okay.
and what
With
they
the E
do
or with just the T.
TIDDY point PON.
Well, point can be spelled with an E.
Oh my
I don't-
God, you are a
Look it
nerd.
up. Look it up.
POINT.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah. No E.
No E.
It's like Sarah with an H.
So what they do is you'll submit a picture to them. It could be anything. Like
Yeah.
you could find one on the damn internet if it's like outdoors.
Okay. I don't know what he was doing over
I don't
there.
either. So
I was thinking.
What are you doing?
I just moved and these fucking FR pants make it sound like I fart anytime I move.
It's okay.
In
You
you're
can you
fine.
can
You've
rip
been farting
ass.
this whole
no,
time.
y'all will have to put the sound effects on because I will shit my pants up in this bitch.
Shit my pants.
Who
I've shit
who
my
is going to be the
pants.
first one to do it this year? Or did somebody who
I already
did somebody?
have. No,
Oh yeah,
nope. I lost the battle.
Did you
yeah,
lose the
but
battle?
that happened
No,
in the
I-
hospital.
No,
That
no, no,
doesn't
no,
count.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
So we were going over to a friend of ours' house who lives like just 2 miles down the road,
Right.
All right,
and I was
have it.
like, I needed to like shit before I went. I was like,
Oh.
okay. So my old lady, she like takes off with her friend somewhere, and I'm like, my stomach's rumbling.
Yeah.
rumbling,
Yeah.
rumbling.
Like Macho Man and Randy
Right.
Savage in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing fucking kick flips.
Yeah.
And like I'm like I need to shit, but I was like, this house is like too fucking nice for me to shit in here.
Right.
Isn't that the most
right.
terrifying shit in your life?
Yeah,
And
because
it's
I'm
like
gonna plug it up,
It's a completely
or I'm gonna funk it up.
Yeah.
It's a completely remodeled plantation style
Where was this at?
in Tuttle.
There's a plantation house in Tuttle?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's several.
All right. I want to go see
And,
It's Tuttle, America.
The people who live there are fucking. I mean, they're just like you, like family now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their bathroom, especially with all the people that were coming over,
Oh, God.
the only bathroom that I had access to was downstairs guest bathroom.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the old lady and her friend got back, and I was like, I gotta go home. And I'm like clenched up,
Cold sweat.
dude. No, it was hot sweat. Like
yeah.
it
You
was-
look like you
I
have
was
COVID
past,
for the
dude.
first
I was
time.
pale, and so like I'm turning, and I'm literally like a mile and a half away from the house,
Oh, fuck,
and
dude,
I
you're so
couldn't,
close.
dude. I couldn't hold it in, and dude, I shitted all over myself. I'm talking about. I shitted and did. Like when I got to
Take
the
the
house,
pants off and wipe with that.
no.
And drive home like you're
No, dude.
porky pig.
No, so thankful. So I had a pair of boxers and a pair of gym shorts, and then I had
Yeah, your hoe
my-
bag in the back of the truck.
no, I had my warm up pants, my Under Armour pants on over that. because I mean it was a little chilly outside. so,
Right,
Okay.
right,
like,
right.
It was
Fair enough.
it was like fresh early January.
All right.
Like maybe 2 weeks in to the year, I lost the damn battle. So
You've not told this
Dude.
before. This is the first. This is a announcement.
and I was driving like 115 miles an hour. And I go to turn in the neighborhood, and my arm was on the armrest, and I was lifted up like butt
Right,
cheeks
right,
clenched,
right.
Uh-huh.
and my arm slipped off the armrest,
Oh,
and
dude.
it just ripped. It went.
And then there goes down Sailor.
Dude, and I felt it like not only like warm splatter, but I felt it go up my back.
Like a
So-
newborn baby.
And like it wasn't, dude. I diaper shitted up out my back.
You're like, it's underneath my goddamn bra right now.
So I get home and I still got the shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that wasn't
you
it.
started it. You hadn't finished it.
So I had so much shit on me when I sat down. It went all over the toilet seat, down the sides. When I pulled my pants off. Thankful I was on the towel. Like, I just might be weird, but when you step out the shower, you have to have a towel on the floor.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
that's because I didn't have a mat.
Not a damn rug.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have to have a towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And my-
thought I was weird, but I'm
My old
glad.
lady fucking hates it, but I have to have a towel on the floor.
Yeah.
A rug, like it just feels weird.
It's like a sponge.
Yeah.
It absorbs all
And-
that water.
So
It's just moldy in your house.
Yeah.
thank God I had a towel on the floor, because when I took my shorts and my pants off, the shitted up my back fell onto the floor.
And you're like, all of this in the trash. It's just
Nope. I took it out back and I washed it off with the hose and threw it in the wash machine. And
He's like, I really like those fucking
So-
Under Armours.
yeah. And I jumped in the shower, and my wife was like calling me and texting me. She's like, "Where you at?" I was like, "I shitted all over myself," and sent her pictures. She's like, "I could have gone my whole life without seeing that." I was like,
She's like, I'm not.
she
sure if
said
I'm
it
gonna
was a
suck your dick."
shitted massacre. SHIDDDDD. Shitted. So I was the first one. I made it. I made it so many years.
Dude,
Dude.
once you start, like it's so one of the guys who used to hang out with in Bricktown, he was like, once you start pissing your pants,
No.
you don't stop pissing your
No.
pants. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Nuh-uh.
what? He's like, oh, like you get used to it, like you'll have. Like,
no.
I was like,
No.
Dude, I used to have a buddy who was a serial drunk pisser.
what?
Like, he would go into
Oh, get drunk, either
Yeah,
pass
get
out and
drunk.
piss himself.
drunk and pass out and piss
Yeah.
himself.
All right.
He got so drunk one night that he went into my buddy's master bedroom
It
while
became
him
a
and
fountain.
his wife were sleeping in the bed.
Oh my god.
Opened her drawer, her dresser drawer,
Oh.
started pissing in.
That was not because he was serial drunk. That was some spite.
No, he was serial drunk. Like there was several times like he would be like on the floor and he would never throw up. Never once have I ever
He's
seen
one
the
of
guy.
those weird serial killer guys.
Never ever once saw him throw up. I'm talking about couldn't fucking walk drunk, but he would piss the shit out of
Wow.
himself.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
So he
I pissed myself once, and it's been like probably 12 years ago, maybe 15.
I'm not
No,
willing,
about
I'm
12
not willing
about
to
12
admit
years
how
ago.
long it's been. How long
I
ago
might
it's been.
dribble in my drawers, but I'm not pissing myself.
Well,
Yeah, like I
so-
ever saw
so
oh
mine-
god, and then
so
you hold
my-
it.
I'll get
mine
a
was-
damn public indecency before
Yeah.
I get.
Well,
pissed
mine
myself.
was I was working nights. I was working graveyard, and I had gotten. It was like I was having trouble sleeping, because it's like no, I mean, because I'd get off at 7. I'd drop my daughter off at school, get home, and it's like 8:30, and then everybody's like mowing their yard or some shit. It's like it was hard to
Ambien.
sleep. So I got some Ambien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard this story before.
I took one. It was the first and last time I ever took one.
Yeah.
And I woke up. When I woke up, I had pissed myself,
Nope.
and
He
I
pissed
was
himself
like,
bad.
I was
too.
like, no. I was like, never again. So I've always been like, dude, no, because if I take it, I'm gonna piss myself.
Yeah. No, dude. I like growing up. We traveled like from
Yeah.
North Carolina and to Nevada and California and back.
Okay.
You couldn't stop unless the vehicle was out of gas.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're pissing in
So-
bottles. You're pissing
No,
in.
no. You hold that shit until
Oh
you
yes,
stop.
you did
We-
control.
Yes. So the last time I drove to North Carolina, it's a 21-hour drive.
Right.
I did not stop and piss the whole entire drive.
Holy shit.
Fucking
Because when I'm on the road,
balls are filled.
Yeah.
so when I'm on the road, I don't drink anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I might have like if I'm going local, like to the lake and stuff,
Right.
I'll have some road
Like
beverages.
you might have a Powerade.
Yeah,
or,
I might have like a Red Bull. Like
Yeah.
I love those the watermelon Red Bulls.
yeah.
Or a white monster.
No, no, dude. The
White
water
monsters are not very good.
actually, the Star Cosmic Dust Alani's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
tastes like
Yeah.
those
are
are
delicious.
or sweet tarts.
Yes, those are
Dude.
delicious.
Because
Because that's the purple one.
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
got me on that shit, and then I go to OnQ every fucking day and get one.
Yeah. Because that's like 200 milligrams of caffeine.
dude.
so
I
you're
used
like-
to until they became $3.59.
If you buy two of them, they become cheaper.
If you buy them at Sam's,
Yeah, you can
they
get
become
them.
even cheaper.
They're like 78 cents a can.
Wait,
in
hold on.
24 pack.
Are
Sam-
you getting the Sam's where it's just because
No, the Sam's is a 3-pack.
is it not the variety pack?
Yeah, but it's like 3 flavors. I don't.
All right, whatever. I'll look at it.
Well, even the new Bomb Pop one that Alani's got.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Halloween one, the caramel apple one,
God,
the
it was
Witch's
awful.
Brew. See, I like that
I
one.
thought it was fucking.
I thought it
Or-
was disgusting.
Oh, well,
Well,
fuck.
we know who
fuck
has
you.
taste in this room.
Fuck you both. Yeah, me.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a time traveler. He's into that stuff.
Back in my day, we used to ride the trolley for a nickel. Like, what? What the fuck is a trolley? Used to be picking you up and taking you to get the cheesecake, and it would cost you another 8 cents. And you're like, what the-
Cheesecake. We never had. We had government cheese.
Dude,
In the Great Depression.
Yeah.
What's that thing I told you about the government cheese? All right.
And the cans with the white label that just says food.
It doesn't say milk or what.
COVID all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
Been there.
We are way off subject.
So when you would go back to North Carolina, so is
Yeah.
it 21 hours from here to North Carolina?
From here to my dad's front door is 21 hours.
Okay.
And like I usually leave at nighttime.
Yeah, and then you get
And
there during the daytime.
Yeah, and I drive all night and then get there the next day a few hours before I left.
And then no stops. Are you going to? Yeah. Okay. Well, you're about to miss out on some really hot shit.
I don't know. What are we talking about? You got
All
a
right.
poo-poo.
He's got to take it to his. All right. So, Mr. Thiccc Azz Boy, as Spanky leaves the room. So, when you were in the Marine Corps eating your crowns, what did you do in Japan? Where were you
Okay.
stationed at?
So I was stationed in Okinawa.
Okay, so Okinawa was where
Yeah.
you were at. So where did you go when you were in Japan?
I got to go everywhere. Thailand, Philippines, China.
What was your favorite place to
Korea.
go visit?
Mainland Japan.
Oh yeah, dude.
So Hiroshima was my favorite place.
I did not get to go there, but you told me
So,
about it after I got back. Thanks.
The
but-
Hiroshima Museum.
Okay.
And just the culture there is completely different than it is anywhere else in Japan.
Okay.
The Japanese live a very structured
Yes.
lifestyle. And I'm talking about like you don't spit on the sidewalks.
Nope. Got in trouble for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't like you follow the rules.
Yeah, and even if you're a gaijin and you're not like from the rules, they'll tell you the
Yes.
rules so
Oh, yeah.
you'll remember them.
No, for sure.
And it's not like necessarily mean as much as it's like you're a piece
It's
of shit.
instructions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like do this. That's
Yeah.
what you do.
Oh, for
now.
sure.
Yeah.
And like just thick ass boy. I love the food.
Yeah, dude.
So
Yeah, that was one of the things when I got back. That was like I was like, man,
and-
we started talking about the sushi and like I ate so
and
many fucking rolls.
I think that really fucked me up on my palate for Asian food.
yeah, because once you get used to having really like
Real sushi, like
Yeah.
it doesn't have a fish taste.
no,
It
and
doesn't like when you get sushi that's caught straight out of the water.
yeah, you have no idea what's
Yes, like it doesn't have a taste.
Well,
It
and
has
then-
a texture.
So then you get into like I grew up really poor and we used to eat ramen all the time.
Oh, for sure. We used to eat tortillas, butter, and brown sugar.
Oh, that's just,
Oh, what was
that's delicious.
Dude, what
right
was
there.
the thing you guys were all giving me shit about? The butter sandwich?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we went to Waffle House and you're toast, and you're like, "Oh, I got a butter sandwich."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I got a sandwich with butter
So
on it.
we
Yeah.
used to do the
White bread with
cheese.
sugar and cinnamon. We
no,
would
no,
do
no,
that, but
like
the tortillas too.
a cuisine was cheese bread.
Yeah.
Oh
a
yeah.
slice of cheese
Yep.
on stale bread.
Yep.
Yes, so it would have a little bit of the thickness
Yes.
to it, so you can.
And if you were fancy
uh-huh.
and your parents weren't around, you just lay that toaster over on its side and you toast that bitch.
Yeah.
And it's not, the cheese won't drip down in the toaster because it's on its side.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Broil.
Yeah.
For
I
2
would-
minutes, you do like eight slices of cheese at the same time, or 8 slices
The
of bread and
with
cheese.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You do like 4 little cuts of slices of butter, then you slap that bitch of cheese on there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put it in a broil for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Till the top, like the edge around the cheese
Gets
is getting
the
just a little golden brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pull it out and it's still cooking.
Woo.
And it takes everything off the roof of your mouth as you bite into
Yeah.
it because you can't wait. And you're like,
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I learned the hard way.
Yeah. So that was one of the
seen
things.
that in fish sticks. Mine was fish sticks.
Fish.
Yeah,
The
dude,
little
fish sticks.
square ones.
Yeah.
And if you put those on a piece of bread with some mayonnaise and lay
Mhm.
a slice of cheese
It's
over
like a
it.
fish fillet from McDonald's.
Dude.
Oh my
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, hot
Yeah,
damn,
that
dude.
I will still every now and then be like, I'll rock one of those. I'll see a bag of fish sticks and I'm like, yeah, we're
Dude,
going
I'll
back.
just
We're
drive
going
through the
back.
McDonald's drive
Right.
through, and I'm like, "Yo, let me get a fish fillet."
Dude, I haven't had a fish fillet from McDonald's in a hot minute. We maybe go and get one after
so,
this.
so my old lady's ex, he, I'm a thick ass boy.
Right.
When he first met me, he didn't like me. Now he's scared of me. He would get pissed and he would be like, "You two aren't nothing but a bunch of McDonald's loving fat fucks."
Is that what you could afford at the time, or
No, because I mean, I fucking love a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Dude, there's
Actually, so
Big Macs are
I have a go-to McDonald's order, but you can go
I
ahead.
do too. So
Okay.
I'm gonna McDouble, a hot and spicy,
Uh-huh.
and I take the bottom buns off of each one.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and
I
slap
put
them together.
You're
Yeah.
making
Yes.
it almost a
I make-
McGangbang.
A McBitchin'.
I make bitches. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I do the two. I'll do 2 McDoubles and then slap them together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that
the
way
first
it's
time
the-
I ever saw the 2 McDonald's slide together, I was like, "What the fuck is this motherfucker doing?"
Yeah.
I'd never done that before.
Dude, and do the McBitchin' with some sweet and sour sauce.
Oh, Now-
Slap your mamas
Yeah.
I will
or
do
your wives,
the big-
whoever supports you now.
the Big Mac. I will do that one, but I take out the middle
The
bun.
middle bun and put a hot and spicy in there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Yep.
So-
That
We-
that is like
We're
life.
cut from the same cloth.
Yes.
So my wife and I go to McDonald's. There's one over here at 39th and Portland. We go over there, and I'm like, "What do you want?" She's like, "A 10-piece." It's like, easy, got it. And then she's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I got it. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
So I got 2 McDoubles, 2 hot and spicy McChickens, a 10-piece, and I got an apple pie. And like I didn't even you could have woke me up at a dead sleep. I was like, "I want 2 McDoubles, 2 hot and spicy, 10-piece, and an apple pie." And she was like, "How the fuck do you have an order preset in your head?" I was
Yeah.
like, "That's what I want."
You know what's good on those apple pies?
What?
Sweet and sour sauce.
Well, I don't know about
I'm
that.
gonna try it now.
A slice of cheese.
Yes.
What?
I
Yes.
swear to God.
Yeah.
Really?
I swear to
You
God.
throw it in the microwave for about 12 seconds, bro.
Oh, dude,
Yes.
I'm gonna try it
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's poor man's eating right there.
Oh yeah,
dude,
yeah,
so-
yeah,
So when Spanky was growing up and apples were invented,
yeah.
When God
Adam
came
and
down-
Eve,
When Miss Cullingworth
So when
used
cheese-
to bake
when-
her pies,
when cheese was founded, and,
This is my favorite episode of my life. This is the best.
we'd go to Old Man Smith's soda shoppy.
He's not older than you. You've been at Smith's Soda Shop. Anyway,
so old man Smith's was actually the kid who lived around the corner and grew up and started his own business.
Yeah.
Spanky's a time traveler. I'm saying it now.
yeah,
I'm only 10
So-
years older than you.
10,000.
Yeah, you've traveled time a
And
lot
you know what's
longer than I have.
and you know what's fucked up?
Space doesn't live. Time doesn't
Is-
live in space.
I am older than Donnie, but he looks like he's 20 years older than me.
Donnie was a fucking stunt devil for death.
Yeah.
And Donnie has partied and seen some of the shit that
Oh no.
we only
I-
dream of.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have to
I
learn how
love
to
Donnie
edit.
for what he brings to the table
Yeah.
and the stories he has. And dude, like Donnie has a lot going on
Yeah.
and a lot going for himself. And him and Shelby's like growing up stories.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like that's straight out of like a fucking movie script.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Shelby like a while ago about it because like I was over at the shop and I was waiting. I just went over there to go talk to him about some other shit, and like he starts telling me some shit. I was like, man, like I thought I had a rough upbringing. He's like, yeah, we all do. So,
Yeah.
Donnie
He-
didn't
there
give
was
a-
there
and
was
him
a,
and Donnie were. He was like, and then so we're all cutting shit over at the shop one time, and Donnie was talking about some shit, and I was like, yeah, you guys might be like 30, 40 years older than me, like 60, 70 years older than me, but like we all had a rough go of it, and like it's cool to be able to go like, hey, like just because
Right.
we're different ages,
And I think all of the guys that we hang out with in the group that we have now,
all had shitty parents.
well, we all have.
except
we all-
for Hanson. Hanson's mom rocks.
Hanson's still in high school.
Yeah, this is true.
Like,
I'm
he's
not
still,
thinking any of the heart of this.
he
show
still
now.
he
Yeah.
still lives with his mom and dad.
He's
which,
still,
dude,
he's
hey,
still got that
if I-
dream
bro,
that he's going to go pro in
if-
the majors.
bro. If I could be single and live with my parents still,
Oh, absolutely.
I did
Bro,
that. And it was not good for me.
1000% would do it.
but- Okay, you want to say so? I go over Monday to drop some stuff off at his shop, and I see his short wide bed, and I was laughing at it because I was like about to be like this motherfucker over here. So he has this really slick short wide bed red Chevy pickup truck.
Yeah.
So he has
No
a 13,
Kimika.
so he has a 1320 sticker on the back window, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I get down, like it's got some work done to it. And then I was like, this motherfucker over here with
He
this
got a
god.
Walmart exhaust.
Yeah.
Is that what he has? Is
Some,
that-
some 22s and a Walmart
And so I
exhaust.
start laughing because I see the Brazier license plate
He's-
frame on it.
He's got a Spectra air filter and a
And it's
Walmart
red.
exhaust.
It's red. It's not even
Yeah.
fucking purple.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was laughing because I was like, this motherfucker's definitely 25. He's under 30 because like I had,
I think he just turned 26
Yeah,
yeah.
he did.
When was his birthday?
this
I don't
year.
know.
Like we didn't celebrate his birthday. That's how inconfident or how unconfident he is about it.
This year is his birthday.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
year.
We're about to fucking haze him on this shit. But no, so that was all the thing about like hanging out with Donnie. Like one time I was at a party and he was over there and we're all hanging out and he started talking to me about fucking drag boats and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, he got down drag boats for about 45 minutes before I was like, okay, you've exceeded my knowledge of drag boats.
So Donnie's uncle and Harrison's dad are the same person,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're both missing an arm.
Which is fucking wild to me.
And that just tells you the kind of upbringing that they have.
Oh yeah, I've heard. So I've been up at the chop shop and Donnie was there, him and Shelby, and they were talking about some of the bullshit they did and one of their cousins, and like it just you're like, what the?
Oh yeah,
Like-
dude. I'm talking about it's a fucking 80s, 70s, and 80s movie script.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like the pictures that Donnie has showed me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's fantasy living.
Fantasy living. No, and that's one of the things that's really cool about those guys is like they're open to talk about it and like it's funny.
Yeah.
And like they respect like how
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous it is.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous as fuck, but it's so fucking cool.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
like my dad. Okay, so allegedly my dad used in the day back to he would go and help build race motors for this drag racing team. And so when they would leave Oklahoma City and go to like Lions Drag Strip in SoCal, my dad would do speed allegedly in the back of the trailer and build all these race motors as they went down the highway. And they would only stop for fuel. So that was the only time he used the bathroom outside of the trailer was to go get the bathroom when he was using fuel, when they're putting fuel in.
Well, that's the fuel they used to race was his bottled up piss.
Oh yeah, because it was hot, hot. But dude, that's the thing.
It's a different lifestyle, dude.
Well, and that's one of the things is that I really appreciate about those older guys where they're like, they're coming out and they're hanging out. Like it's even if they're a little bit of a hell yeah brother at times, or Spanky, when he was talking to God and Zeus, like it's nice to be able to have like the old guard coming out
Right.
and really thinking about like what stuff you and I don't know about. Because like, I'm 34, I'm going to be 40. And Spanky's being 80,000 years old this year. So, like, we're going to all have these little bits, these interjections.
Respect your goddamn elders.
I will fucking I will fuck you up when we leave this motherfucker. But, yeah.
Hey, I'll have you know, I worked that stripper pole like I was
Bro,
going to
so
college.
That's
Speaking of stripper pole,
Okay.
sorry, I gotta The stripper pole on the party bus.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Pretty
Bruh.
sure I
Yeah,
dry
bro.
humped. Pretty sure I dry humped you on that stripper
Was it
pole.
you?
Yeah,
It
we
wasn't
both
me.
had our
So-
shirts off. I was
Okay,
almost
alright.
naked at one point.
So yes, I was in my fucking cocaine snowflake pants,
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it was hilarious.
and we were belly bumping each other.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. This is not the first time I've done that with somebody.
And we tried to warn my old lady's friends prior.
yeah, you didn't try hard enough for that shit though.
Well,
Hey,
Dude.
a couple of her friends
We're
were
in on
down.
it.
Were down
They
to
were
clown.
down. They were
no,
down.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She likes to have a good time. I like to have a good time. Some of her friends like to have a good time, but some of them are really reserved.
Yeah.
And
Oh, we found
me,
that out.
like opening that can of worms to them, might have scarred them, but they will not pick anyone else to go on a party bus with. I promise.
I
Oh yeah,
bet. I mean,
absolutely.
Besides the 36 bottles of Fireball my buddy drank.
Yeah.
is that what he had?
Yeah.
I had about 10 of those.
So my buddy from the lake,
Uh-huh.
he brought like a
bucket.
it was the bucket thing.
Yeah,
of
it was
them. It was
like
the 100
40
pack.
Was-
I thought it was the 99 pack
well, he brought a ton of Fireball.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did. Oh yeah. he
because
did.
we were on the
The
bus
mini
and he's
bottles.
like Fireball, and
Yeah.
I'm like Fireball.
And I,
Well,
at
oh
first I
boy.
felt bad about it because I was like, oh, like
No,
Fireball.
No,
No, he was like,
fucking-
here, have five Fireballs.
Yeah. So my buddy in the cat jacket
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
way too many Fireballs,
Yeah.
and love him to death. Just,
yeah,
Yeah.
I had.
but I had to be a host, and
Yeah.
I tried to get a little bit tore up, but I definitely got tore up enough to leave Harrison and his old lady at the strip club. Part of-
Yeah, I forgot about
Like-
that shit.
I am.
He's
I'm,
like-
I
like
am.
literally, like he's like, "Don't leave me," and I'm like, "All right, cool."
You're
Walk
like,
out the door, fucking left him.
I am
Yeah, you're like, bye.
pissed. I'm pissed that the only thing I remember of the strip club
Oh my
is the
God.
bathroom and me projectile vomiting. Actually, it's the bathroom because I remember walking in and there's one urinal and one stall in the Night Trips bathroom. And I remember I stopped and I thought, this is the smallest bathroom ever.
You know what's
And then
even-
I proceeded to, luckily,
I'm gonna one up this.
yeah, luckily there was nobody in the toilet and I proceeded to just hurl my guts up and
This motherfucker.
Squirrel sitting there patting me on my back. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Dude, my
It's gonna be
favorite,
okay.
my favorite was my old lady's friend getting on the stage and the stripper just raping the shit out of her. So what I was doing is I was taking $5 bills and folding them in half and stacking them on top of her head while the stripper had her laid down and her top off.
I didn't know that was what
Yeah.
happened. I'm so upset.
I literally probably had $35 worth of $5 bills stacked, like folded in half long ways, stacked up
Yeah.
like a little
Like a
log cabin.
Like Spanky's really good friend Abraham Lincoln. It's,
Yes.
the fucked
Yeah.
up thing was like he goes, you know what really sucks is he starts going, I don't really remember the strip club because I was in the bathroom vomiting. I was like, you know what, I remember the strip club. He goes, what? I was like, you vomited.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know which is worse. Me, so I at
We
one point-
weren't there long, 20 minutes maybe.
Oh,
I
is
know.
that how long we were. So
You know-
I know we were there a little bit longer because I smoked a cigarette at one
We
point.
were at Cats and I got turned
God
at
damn, I brought the
Cats.
seal back.
I was
God damn.
I
drinking
know.
Look at this.
like
Full
random
control.
Yeah.
if I look back.
Random I was grabbing drinks off tables and just like I
Tip
don't know.
here.
I don't even know whose they were. I grabbed. I remember at one point I had a Modelo. I pulled it off the table and I turned it up and it's just like glub, 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 glub. And Priscilla looks at me and she's like, "Whose drink was that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Table
Dude,
beer."
you guys took such good care of me that night. I at Cats, I did not. I think we had the most fun at Cats.
Yeah.
And
Vaguely remember Edna's. We were. It seemed
Edna-
like we were only there like 10 minutes.
no, yeah, we walked to Edna's and it was Edgar Central,
Yes, it was.
and so we got out of there real quick.
I had 2 lunch boxes
Um,
and half a pitcher of beer at Edna's.
I had 2 lunch boxes.
Yeah.
Actually, I had.
I think you gave me one.
Yeah, because I was looking for the group that
Yeah.
like my old lady and her friends, and I was like, I bought 15 lunch boxes,
God damn.
and I was trying to give them out, and then some old man was like, "I'll take that." I was like, "You're not part of my group." So we literally stayed at Edna's 10 minutes, and then we got back on the party bus and went to
Cowboy Ranch.
Oklahoma Ranch
Oklahoma
or
Ranch.
Cowboy Ranch or something. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean,
then
it
some random dude gave me 2 Jello
Jello
shots. That's
shots.
what did it. That's what pushed me over the edge was the Jello shots.
I don't.
That was
know,
also
dude.
where I grabbed your wife's ass because I thought it was my wife.
I was dancing with the Santa Claus girls. Like,
Yeah.
It was a
And
good
one of
time.
your wife's friends, I was rubbing my ass on her ass.
yeah.
One of the black girls, and she was all
She was like,
having
okay,
fun.
honky.
Yeah.
No, Micah, she's like an avid like hunter. She's cool.
Right.
She's
Okay.
cool as shit.
All right.
And then we got on the bus, and I did not puke on the bus. And then we got to night trips, and I remember I was walking it, and I was all, and Priscilla's like, give me
Yeah.
your goddamn wallet. Give
Yeah.
me every.
Dude,
Yeah.
I paid $300 to have the party bus cleaned.
Dude, when
Yeah.
you were telling me that, I was like, that's fucked. I was like, here's this T-shirt fundraiser for you.
Okay, 4 months after.
Hey, man, it still happened. It still
No,
happened.
I appreciate
The
it.
receipt,
He's
was,
like,
the
no,
receipt was
yeah.
full, but like, yeah.
Now, that
No.
was one of the, that actually was probably the most fun I've had in a long
Yeah, we had a
long time.
blast
That was a
night.
good
Because the
night.
party bus, it's like you don't got to
And
worry
the Wiener
about
bill was there.
Dewey.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The damn Oscar Mayer wing
Yeah,
and
Yeah, we
Yeah.
walked out and we're like looking at it, and they had Christmas tree lights inside of it. Dude,
Yeah.
it was such a good night.
Yeah.
And she had a good
But-
time.
Yeah,
She
for
figured
sure.
out that if she fucked around, we were gonna find out.
Oh yeah.
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 When I walked up with my ankle
I'm surprised
monitor
there was
on.
no coat checking that night.
Oh yeah. Well, I was really good about not doing it, and now I'm really bad about doing it
Yeah.
because like
Yes.
even the other night, like I was leaving cats, and not to be like too much of an asshole about it, but
You
like there was
coat checked the brick wall outside.
no, the concrete parking lot. No, like there was a guy that was like giving me a bunch of shit, and I was like, dude, if you don't leave us the fuck alone, I'm about to coat check you into this goddamn dumpster. And he was like, what? I was like, well, get the fuck out of my face. So
And Harrison in his fucking snowman shirt with a carrot.
Yes.
yeah,
Dude.
yeah,
He kept rubbing it.
yeah. There was, and
Well,
what's-
he had all those ladies coming up
Yes.
rubbing it
Well,
the
like
the
old
best-
ladies. Yeah.
the best part is he was not the only one that had the exact same sweater on.
No, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bought that sweater prior,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and it didn't fit
Oh,
because I'm a thick ass boy.
yeah.
So I gave it to the dude who his wife was the one on the stripper.
Yeah.
on
Right,
the, on
right,
the
right.
main
Yeah, on the
stage.
pole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she the little blonde?
Short blonde.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a good
Yeah.
time. All right, we're at 2 hours. We're gonna have Caleb back on.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about other shit.
Yeah.
You know
We're
who
gonna
we're
talk
not.
about-
You know who we're not gonna have on.
Hanson.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I almost guest invited him tonight. I was like, just show up with me.
That would be, dude. We have 4
He's like-
mics.
I said, you could share my mic, baby.
This is a 2-seater over here.
Yeah, and then Moppett's over there.
So-
So,
Next time I'm gonna show up with
just random people,
yeah.
people of your choosing.
Show up
So,
with Mitch.
so I was telling Harrison. I was,
Mitch will say like
Yeah.
2 words.
Yeah.
Hi.
I was telling Harrison, I said, we got to get best friend t-shirts. He was like, no, we'll be like the chubby boy magic guys. I was like, no, that's Edmund Bite Night. You got it all wrong.
All right. Are those guys gay? No. All right.
And Martin was like, "You guys are brothers, though, right?" We're like,
God.
"No."
We'll tell you about that in a little bit. All right. So, Caleb, one more time. Where do we find you at on Instagram? Or
Thick Ass Boy. It's THICCC_AZZ_BOY.
Yeah.
Blue check mark
Blue check
verified.
yeah. Thank you for coming on. We're glad
Yeah.
you're alive.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it,
We're
guys.
glad
Yeah.
that you're
It's a
looking
good
at
time.
trikes now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, hey.
all right.
Don't
That's
worry. Don't worry.
confidential.
She's not gonna make it this long.
no way.
No, she's gonna listen to this whole entire episode.
Bye, Taylor.
Hi, Debbie.
Love you. All right. Bye.
Bye.